I believe I'm live, but I put my I'm hiding my camera right now, so you can't see shit. Oh, I can do the share screen button. Easy. Great. Okay. Okay. Now I think we are good. We're on the call now. We gotta wait for this guy to show you to show up. All right. So I've started. Just can you check it? Hey Jack, can you check it out on my channel to make sure it's good?
Check it out.
All right. Yeah. Just yeah.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah, it's good.
All right. Can you hear? Oh,
Someone
can
already joined.
oh nice. I think it makes you though. I think you're the one who joined.
No,
Uh,
there's already someone typing in chat.
oh, nice. Yo, what's up? AVYSS. Will this be on live on YouTube? Because it's 1 a.m. where I'm at, and I'm done for today. Yo, you can just when a live stream ends, Jack, it doesn't just get posted as a recording on YouTube.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Dude, there's another guy showed up in the airport. What's up, bro? That's pretty
Okay, I'm
crazy. I
probably
can.
gonna go live in a second.
All right, yeah. So Jack's going live too. Yeah. So answer the first guy's question, Avi. I don't know what your name is, but yeah, this will be posted as a recording, so you can watch it later. All right.
Oh no, actually I'll go live once show you shows up.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
wait up. So we're gonna stream this on Jack's channel. So this is my friend Jack right here. He's a red pillar, but don't hold it against him, guys. He's cool. So yeah, if you haven't subbed to his channel, you can go ahead and do that now for any viewers watching. And we will
yeah.
also show the
Thanks
main.
for shouting.
Yeah, no worries. And the mainstream, I guess, will be held on Show You Connect's channel because he's got a lot more subs than we both do combined. So, but we're all waiting for the dude to show up at this point, so it's okay. Uh, yeah, so it's gonna be like dead air for the next like 10 minutes. I'm gonna go get a glass of water for the debate. I'll be back soon.
Without the red pill, the black pill never would have become a thing. That's true. That's very true. But yeah, we're just waiting for Show You Connects to show up. He's the one that's going to be hosting this debate, like moderating. So yeah, it's going to be dead air for a bit, but yeah, that's basically what's happening. Um, but yeah, like if you guys want to leave some like questions or like comments um, that relate to the debate or any of them, any comments, um, I'm pretty sure Shoyu is going to be pulling them up, or well, the Subhuman Slayer will probably pull them up on this channel. But if you want to watch the stream where the most people are going to be, that's going to be on Show You Connect's channel. But you can also watch it here.
I'm back. Did I miss anything? I see Avi sent another message. Without the red pill, the black pill would have never become a thing. Yeah, I guess there is a symbiotic relationship there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything we want bro, I'm really hoping Show You shows up soon, man. Because we gotta brief him. He doesn't even know the topics. We gotta brief him before he starts
Yeah.
the debate. Why don't we tell our viewers, I don't know how many, like all two of them, about are you streaming by the way?
No, I'm not streaming. I said I was gonna stream when Show You shows up,
Oh
but
yeah. Okay, we got another question. Number one. He's our top fan, Avi. I always wondered in the red pill, wouldn't you say that even game is at least partially genetic, like introversion, extroversion, how deep your voice is, verbal IQ, etc.? That's actually a great question, but I kind of want to. Honestly, I think Avi just stole one of the points that I was going to make in the debate. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. Should I even address it then? I mean, I do have kind of a response to that, but I'm not sure if I want to say it yet.
Um, let's start for the form. Like, are we sure that this topic is going to come up in the debate?
I think it probably will. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it won't. I think the way what I would say to address that is that yeah, it is partially genetic, but it's less genetic than like looks and stuff. So like
Mhm.
like looks or like height, it's way less genetic than those things. So it's something that you can kind of work on more than those other things, you know? And like you should focus on what you can improve, not things that are like more fixed, like height or to some extent looks. Mostly looks are mostly fixed, I feel like.
Yeah, to a great degree. I mean, yeah, I think it's a fair enough point. Um, you can definitely fraud a lot of.
Wait, are you scrolling up the chat? Wait,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if
Oh, you don't want to see?
they're
You don't
gonna
want
see
people
it.
to see it? I was just gonna.
No,
I don't think we.
actually I don't care.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
care. I
we
mean,
said
I think
anything. We said anything there. I'm just. What was I gonna say? I'm just trying to post the actual debate topics, but I can just write them out from memory and just pin it to the top. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So first one, the importance of game to, and how do you? I try to do the shift enter thing, but it just automatically entered it. How do I do shift enter on this?
I wait on YouTube chat. Like you want to like actually like you want to put like the
New
list.
line, like a new line, yeah. But like I just tried that with the debate topics message, and you can see it.
I just do it one by one probably, or maybe you could just
I want to
you
pin
could
it. You
type
know
it
what I
in
mean? I
as
want to
well.
pin the entire message so people who join later. And Abby's got a new.
Oh yeah, can't you pin the? You could pin the message too. I'd say maybe just type it out, and then copy and paste it and put it there. Like type it out in like a text document or something.
Oh, yeah, I'll just do it in the Discord chat, and then yeah, sounds good. All right, here we go. Oh, and Abby's got a new question for you, so you can answer that while I type.
I just wonder if there's a point where as a red pill you would tell someone it's over. Like if someone is like if someone is 4'11" or 3 out of 10 facially, is there a point where it's over? Um, See, this was actually like a topic we were gonna debate. Like how
We
like at
already
what
talked.
point is
I didn't think it was gonna. We were gonna debate it, but we already like talked about it privately, didn't we?
yeah, I think
Oh, let's
okay,
go.
Shoyu's here.
Let's go.
Yes, man.
The
How
Asian
are you?
invasion showed up. What's up, show you?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
The Asian invasion.
Asian
Yeah.
invasion.
Elliot Roger in the house.
Oh shit, bro. Bro, you're gonna get me
Oh,
banned again, Jack.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's saying I look like it.
All right, show you. You gotta tell us though, which side is which in your family?
Oh, okay. My mom's side is Japanese. My dad's side is English.
Yeah, we kind of, us BPers, we kind of figure that out. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah,
Always like that.
like in 90% of cases.
It's true.
Yeah, 90%, 100. It's always like that, literally.
But when I see it the other way around, like even if the dude's like a straight up Chang, like I'm happy for him. You know what I mean? Like when I see that, because like he's going against. Whenever I see a man in general in life going against the grain, like I'm always supportive of that. So
Yeah, I always love when that happens. Like when a guy goes against the grain, it's always brilliant. Like it's great to see guys breaking trends because I feel like the trends are very rigid.
yeah,
Yeah.
It takes a lot of like willpower to beat it. So I would say that it can be quite difficult because lots of people talk about pheno and stuff, and I can kind of understand it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go.
You know,
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
have you ever heard of K-pop maxing?
Yeah.
It's like when you like an Asian guy can like have like the K-pop aesthetic to attract women.
That's legit. I mean, I've seen it. Like the guys who adopt that, even if they're not Korean, they get results. I've seen it at my university.
Yeah, I feel like I might have to try that out, but I feel like the problem is like I need facial hair because my jawline ain't the best. So
Oh, that's why you have that beard. No, I think for you, like because you also have distinctly Bayesian features. Like I think you're probably optimized the best for your
Yeah,
personal
I'd say
pheno.
so.
Yeah.
I'm optimized the best for my pheno because I feel like I've done most of what I need to do.
Yeah. So, do we want to brief him about what the stream brief show you about
Yeah.
the
So
topics and
so
whatnot?
right now I'm typing out show you weren't for our call, you weren't there for our call yesterday, but right now I'm typing out the topics we hammered out
Yeah,
yesterday.
it's
So
gonna be brilliant.
I hope so. So is hiring. So
Yeah, but
we have 6 topics total, I think. And how long
yeah,
do
we
you
can
guys want the
talk
debate to
it.
go on? I'm thinking, I notice Wheat Waffles, every time he does a collab stream, he does it exactly 2 hours. I think even like Joe Rogan, his podcast roll is 2 hours. I think 2 hours is like a good, let's cap it at that.
Yeah, like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, I'd
wondering
say
because
so.
we can, because some of these, especially the last topic, it's going to be, I think, it'll take on a little bit longer. So,
Yeah, because the thing is, where I am right now, there's some time difference, so I might not be able to stay for the full 2 hours. But
mm,
you two are like the main characters today, so because it's the battle of the Slayers, like I'm just going to
Yeah.
like moderate. But if
yeah,
I don't make it like to the full end, then you can still continue
yeah, but
because
we need
obviously
your, I guess we can
debate
switch over
is
to
to
my
you
personal
two.
stream. Well, we need your
Yeah,
subs, bro. We need your 1K subs to
Yeah, are you gonna
make
go
this.
live? We
yeah,
need
of
the
course.
bleaches subs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this is all about, bro.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you very much, man. Yeah, so when it came to 1K
I was
subs, I
there
know
when you had 40 subs.
yeah, I'm not sure.
it's
We're gonna get Jack up there in the subs. I already pushed him to my 2 live viewers. Uh,
yeah, because the Subhuman Slayer, I've noticed that you've gotten a lot more subs recently because I remember when you first started out, you were not that consistent and like
I'm still not that
you know,
consistent. I haven't posted for 2 weeks. This is my first content in 2 weeks. So, but I've been traveling a little bit, so that's my excuse.
yeah, I noticed that, but the thing is like I feel like when it comes to consistency, it can be quite difficult to stay consistent. I understand that. Like with me, there were times where I didn't post for 2 weeks, but I feel like I've improved on my consistency recently, and I would actually say that it's actually quite difficult to stay disciplined,
Hmm.
but I would say that I'm getting better at it compared to before.
Right, I think I'm gonna go live
All right,
on my
Same.
channel.
you want to go live as well at this point?
Yeah, I'm gonna go live.
All right, I'm going to copy and paste and then pin the topics, and then you guys do the same thing on your own stream so everyone knows. It's cold approach.
Okay, but you're typing them in Discord.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
doing that so I
My
can just
chat.
copy and paste them into my YouTube chat.
I'm
I
just
did
getting.
kind of like a premiere.
I'm gonna get the stream key.
Is there a way we can get that donation option? I don't think anyone is ever going to donate to us, but just in case, is there? I've seen other guys do it on streams, like YouTube streams.
Um,
I don't know how to
I'm going to
enable it.
think. I'm gonna think that one through.
Do you need me?
Sorry, Jack.
What's the
Show
stream
you could
key?
probably do it. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
I think you might need to be monetized. I'm not sure.
yeah. I feel like I should be because like I'm on 1K subs, so
You
I
have
can
enough. You
already.
have enough. Yeah.
But hang on, I just need to. Oh yeah, connect account. Before I've already done that. All right, I've done this, so I should really be able to stream now. So yeah, the broadcast will be called Red Pill versus Black Pill debate. Jack the PUA versus Subhuman Slayer. Debating red and black pill principles.
I don't even put black pill, red pill in the actual. I don't even try to say it that often, because that's why my videos. I got like so many videos taken down. My channel almost got shut down. I think it was because I was putting black pill in the channel, saying the video titles. So once I stopped doing that, I stopped.
I mean, your name is literally the Subhuman Slayer.
Yeah, and it's also like I don't know if you know, but calling something. Oh, dude, like you can't just do enter. Anyways, calling someone a subhuman on YouTube, that's gonna get you taken down. That's why I call myself the Sub5 Slayer when I'm in a video, because I don't even want to say that word.
Yeah, because subhuman, like I can't
Wait,
lie.
didn't you just say it? Oh no.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna be fucking up a lot in this. Oh, apparently there's a limit to the message size. Sorry, guys. This is this is the practice stream because I've never done this before. So I gotta send them one at a time every single topic.
Yeah, because I'm already just looking for the Discord window, and that one is just checking Chrome. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, it's ready. Yeah, so I think I'm live now. I'm just gonna make sure that I am.
Okay, I'll go live.
Yeah, so I'm currently live as we speak. Yeah, RP versus. Yeah, I put RP and BP just like so people don't like fully suspect it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You need to lock it onto the one tab. Yeah, I feel like I've locked it in now. You know the phrase "lock in," don't you?
Yeah.
I don't exactly know, but yeah, I'll just keep it like this.
Okay.
All right. So show you your job for this. The debate, I guess, is going to be just keep us on track, basically. So.
Yeah.
Like if we start like deviating too much from the topic that we're discussing at the moment, just make sure we're on track. If we go on too long, then make sure that we cut it short and we move on to the next topic and stuff like that. And is there a way to? I also wanted to put a poll on the video for people to leave there. So first of all, can you get the monetization thing going on yours? Like
yeah, I'm going to try and load that now.
All right, and tell me, is it only for people who have the monetization on YouTube, or because I know people?
How to get people to donate to you on YouTube Live?
Oh,
super chat.
Avi, sorry, yeah.
I have to go to YouTube Studio. And I have to turn on supers, right?
Go ahead. I'll try doing that as well.
I'll try doing that now.
Yeah. Also, Avi had a comment for me. I missed it. Said, I'm curious, how often are you on BP forums? I was on there a few times, and it's pure brain rot. So, funny story, Avi. I went through when I first started learning about BP, I was going through a very interesting time in my life, as Tyler Durden once said. I was actually homeless at the time. I was living out of my car. And I was literally just rotting.
Actually?
Yeah. I was actually just rotting on the BP forums. I had some like side gigs and stuff like that I was doing for money, but I spent several hours of a day just rotting on like .is, if you know what .is is, or .org, if you know what .org is. But it's pure brain rot. Like don't go on the BP forums, guys. Like go watch better.
Yeah.
BP forums are just mostly like brain rot. I've been on them before, but to be honest, I don't really like those forums because I feel like they're echo chambers. Like success gets punished, and while I'm not saying that BP is like bad or anything, I'm just saying that like anything taken to an extreme level just loses all credibility.
Yeah, I agree, and it's also people who want to feel better about their like fact that they don't have great lives or whatever, and it's like what did they call it, like the frogs in the bucket or whatever, like the crabs in the bucket. Like every time the crab tries to crawl out of the bucket, the other crab pulls him down. That's basically what it's like. Did you get the okay?
Yeah,
How do I enable the donation, the super chat? Did you do it?
yeah, I'm pretty much there now. I'm on YouTube Studio.
Mm-hmm.
I just put built-in tools like super chat.
Oh, it looks like
So
super chat is only if you're actually monetized, which I am not because I'm not at 500 subs yet. So I don't think it's. But you try it out real quick. All right, Avi. Avi also asks, "What's your opinion on religion?" I personally am an agnostic. I don't know if you guys feel comfortable sharing. I can share it. I'm actually a Muslim. You guys can share.
what is it?
Hmm?
I'm an agnostic. Wait, so you said you actually practice Islam, or were you just born Muslim?
Yeah, I practice it. I'm not like super devout though. But when I said agnostic, I'm just reading out this guy's comment. This guy says he's an agnostic.
Also, like, do you eat halal and like pray and everything?
Yeah. But I skip prayers. I shouldn't, but like I do. But
Yeah.
I say
Have you ever heard of the phrase?
moderately practicing.
Have you heard
I'll
of the
just speak for
phrase?
myself. I am
Muslims
not
sell before?
religious.
Sorry, Jack.
I just
I
said I'm
heard of
not
the-
religious.
Okay. So
I'd say I'm agnostic, but to be fair, I do have like an interest in some religions, but I would say that I'm agnostic at the moment.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the way I would describe my religion is, yeah, pretty agnostic. I don't, I'm not religious. I do kind of philosophically like the idea of a creator and think it might be plausible, but it's like more of like a philosophical position that there's like a creator of the universe than like a religious one. Like I don't believe in any religion, and I think most of it's just made up by humans.
I think that's pretty common. I would say, just from my understanding of, well, I don't know about RP community, but the BP community, I would say it's mostly irreligious. I would say.
Yeah, there's some like Christian like trad cons as well, but I feel like that's more red pill than black pill.
Yeah.
If I'm
Okay,
being
guys,
honest.
do you want to start like that? Do you want to start
Yeah,
like the
we'll
actual
start-
debate?
I'm just checking ad revenue now, right? And basically what I'm going to do is do the YouTube studio. So as soon as I get ad revenue, right?
Yeah, we'll wait for you guys to monetize this. I don't think me and Jack can do it, but go ahead, show you. Also, show you. I think if we get any more comments from Avi, shout out to Avi for asking so many questions. By the way, how do you justify? Yeah, I don't think we're going to discuss that. That one in this stream. We're going to just move on to the debate. But I think later on, I might do a video on my channel.
We could do like a stream about other topics one day.
Yeah, I'd like to stream with you, show you, because we didn't get to talk yesterday.
Thank you.
I got to know Jack a little bit yesterday, but yeah, I like to get to know more about you, show
Oh.
you. I think this is like Abby. I think it's a good question, but it's more of a topic for another day.
Yeah, I found it. So YouTube creator support. That's why I need to join. Because
Do you think maybe you could do this like while we're debating, like as we're
that's probably a good idea. So you two start debating, and I'll try and set up as quickly as possible.
All right, and then sorry,
Okay,
what I wanted to say, show you, is that if we get any like comments that are directly related to like what the debate is about at that moment, you can just if you think they're
Answer
interesting,
them, yeah.
I won't be looking at the chat. So if you think they're interesting, bring it up to.
Oh yeah. Let's tell him his role as like a moderator. So like if one of us is like interrupting the other, or you want to redirect the conversation because we're on a topic for too long, you can intervene and you can like give us each like time to speak or something. You can like like switch the topic, bring up questions, yeah, stuff like that. Basically that's your role. And do you want to like introduce the debate or something? Show
Yeah.
you?
I could do that. So, to any of you who have just arrived at the debate now, all we're basically doing is a debate between two of my friends. TheSubhumanSlayer obviously being a new friend, right? Are going to be debating red pill versus black pill. So Jack obviously focuses more on things like cold approach, game, status, and charisma, whereas TheSubhumanSlayer focuses more on things like looks and height and bone frame. So it's going to be interesting to see the different perspectives of the two growing creators. And yeah, I'd like the chat and the fans to have their take on, dating and who they think is more accurate and why.
All right, and can you put that poll up as well? or I don't know if you can put a poll. Actually, let's just do that at the end. When the debate finishes, we'll put a poll.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah. And also, anybody who's watching this on Show You Stream, hey, please sub to me and Jack. We need it. So we're trying to mooch. We're all trying to mooch off Show You here. Yeah.
Your stream actually has the most viewers, Subhuman.
Oh well, because I started the first. But anyways, let's.
Yeah, you have 3 people watching. My stream currently has let's have a look. 1 person. That's it.
All right.
No, 2 people.
Right.
2 people.
So it's okay. We'll get more as it continues, and it'll get more after it's posted as a recording. All right, let's get to it. So the first topic of the debate, Jack, is going to be if we look at the importance of game to dating. So here's how I would define game, Jack. I would say game is the collection of like social skills that any man can use with the intention being to increase a woman's level of attraction towards you. Would you agree with that? We need to have a standard definition. So would you be okay with that definition?
I think that that's an okay definition. I'd also add, I wouldn't say it's just to increase attraction. It would also be to maintain attraction, because game is also knowing what not to say, I'd say. So maybe it's just like, I guess like the right things to say for women to find you attractive, like the right social skills and behavior, like the right set of behaviors and social skills, I'd say, is what game is to attract women.
All right. So can you explain to me like why? So I'll just tell you my perspective. I don't believe it's possible to. I think attraction is pretty much all physical, and I don't believe it's possible to increase a woman's attraction simply by like the things that you do. That's why I made that my definition, because that's really what I'd like to argue against. In terms of your behavior, like the specific things you're saying, how you know, I don't know, just talk to her and stuff like that. I don't think this stuff moves the needle whatsoever. I do believe you can't offend a woman. So I really believe when it comes to maintaining a woman's attraction, it's just don't offend her, I would say is the main rule. And then let who you are in terms of looks, height, physique, and stuff like that, is what's going to get her in through the door, really. What do you say to that?
Well, I would say that it's a very complex picture with game. It's not just not offending a woman when she's already attracted to you. There are plenty of cases of women losing attraction, not because the guy was disrespectful and offended her, but because he was being simpy, because he was being a nice guy and he didn't hold frame. So that's what I'd say about game. It's like it's more complex than just, you know, basic level, like, you know, basic social skills. You can have basic social skills and it wouldn't be enough to maintain a woman's attraction.
So I would push back on there a little bit. So you say there are plenty of cases for like maybe, and I'm sure you're right, I don't know any, but I'll take you at your word of women who have interest and then they lose interest because they don't like how a guy's behaving simply. For that matter, but you can also say, and this is something I know because I've seen it in my own personal life, guys who just act super simpy as a way to get women. And for some of those guys, it actually works. Like guys who will be like overtly feminist, for example, or overtly obsquicious towards women. And the women have no problem. The women like that, right? And I would say they like that because they like the guy. The guy I know two, like I remember this happened to me in my social circle twice. I know of 2 guys who ran this kind of, I guess you could call it simp game, where they were just being like, oh, the other guy, he's a racist, he's a sexist, he's a homophobe, you know, whatever, like that, as a way to try to get more left-leaning women to like them. And it worked out. They both got the girl they wanted there because those guys happen to be highly attractive. So you can't say that there's, as the RPers, they like to tell you that there's like a specific formula. You got to hold frame, as you say. You got to, you know, act aloof at times. You got to do this. But there are direct cases of guys who violate every single RP tenet, and it still works out for them because you know what? The girl's attracted to them.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
So I was just going to add quickly because I know like it's the main debate is YouTube. I just wanted to intervene quick, right? I would say that the importance of game is situational because I feel like there are 3 main ways to attract women, right? And that is looks, fame, and Gestamaxing. They're like the three tenets, and obviously looks is the most powerful. But the reality is most people do not have Chad light or Chad looks, right? Most guys aren't even HTN, so that means that by definition, the majority of people have to attract with other methods as well, because the majority of couples we know online, no, in real life, right, didn't involve like, you know, super primal hookup with Chad. It was normally like pretty mundane and stuff, but I'll talk about that later. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was gonna say attraction isn't binary. You know, like black pillars make it to seem like it's like attraction is like she either likes you or she doesn't like you. That's not really the case. Attraction is more like a sliding spectrum. Yeah, if you're like, you like an 8 plus, if you're like a Chad, or maybe like a Chad light, then yeah, you can get away with being kind of a simp, being a little bit, beta, not holding frame. But I think for these average to below average guys, holding frame is actually going to get them farther than simping ever would. There was like a poll on Reddit there was like a screenshot of a poll on Reddit that I put on like the slideshow in one of my videos. It was called my video called the dating market in 2026. I put this screenshot of this Reddit poll because I found it really interesting. So left wing, like there was like a poll where they asked men who were left wing and right wing to say whether or not they like had a girlfriend before. It was something like that. And it actually turned out that left wing males actually were less likely to have had a girlfriend. So what this told me is that like
Wait,
simping and being a male
sorry to
feminine
interrupt, but
is not actually going to get you
was this poll
what
conducted on Reddit, or it was just posted to Reddit?
it was conducted on Reddit.
Okay, well, that's not exactly an
And
unbiased sample of the population of people who are wasting
yeah,
away on
but you
Reddit.
used anecdotes though, so it's kind of the same thing. We don't neither of us have hard evidence. I'm just saying
Sure.
um the poll the poll kind of demonstrated to me that being left wing isn't a reliable way to get women to like you. Um for most men. And I think you would agree with that, but I think what you're saying is that for these men, you might as well just simp because, holding frame isn't actually going to do you any better.
So
But I would disagree with that.
I think you maybe misunderstood the point that I was trying to make. The point that I was trying to make is not necessarily that like simp game is like a superior game than RP holding frame game. The point is that it doesn't matter, right? Because like I'll tell you that if those two guys from my anecdote had done the RP method, they would still be successful in dating. Perhaps not with those specific women, but in general, they would still be successful with dating, right? It's sort of
Yeah.
It's sort of I'm trying to say that the RP wants to say there's a specific way you just got to follow the script and you're going to have success. But some people can follow the script and have no success, and some people can just go completely off script and have tons of success. And it's because what's really moving the needle in terms of dating is the looks part. It's not like how they behave and stuff like that. And there's also another thing Jack said I want to respond to, which is that physical attraction is not binary. It's actually a sliding scale. Yes, that's correct, right? Let's say a guy who's a little bit above the average in appearance, let's say a girl is scrolling through a dating app. She's going to say, oh yeah, he's cute. Or if somebody asks her, what do you think of so-and-so? Yeah, he's cute, I guess. Versus like the actual 10 out of 10, true Adam comes in and she just like loses her mind, right? So that's a sliding scale of attraction. But there is a hard cutoff, right? So I would say it's still accurate to say a woman is either attracted to you at some level versus she can just not be attracted to you at all. And so it's true. And I would say it's also true that looks are a little bit subjective, right? What you call a 6, if we were like looking at girls in real life, we all got together. What you may call a 6, I'd call a 5, show you'd call a 7, right? So there is a little bit of subjectivity. But looks are a whole lot more objective than game, which I said in my anecdote, that's totally subjective. What a woman thinks is the correct way to act and stuff like that. It's going to vary a lot from woman to woman.
Okay, so I mean, you're saying that looks are the primary deciding factor, and it doesn't really matter that much whether a guy acts like a simp or kind of acts like, like an asshole to women.
Yeah, like women can be, like I said in the very beginning, right? I do believe it's possible to actually, like, if you just are messaging a girl on Hinge and she's got a long-term relationship in her bio, and she swipes on you, and the first message is, let's bang. Yeah, she probably will, like, unlike your profile and stuff like that. It's totally possible to offend a woman.
Yeah, well, that's okay. So
I can give an example actually.
Sure.
So this one time there was this woman, right, who I was going to meet, right? And obviously we texted for a while because she wasn't coming to London and for a while, for some weeks. And then what happened was she asked me, "Oh, what are you looking for?" And because I wasn't that attracted, I said, "Oh, an exciting connection." And she suddenly stopped responding. Now, obviously, looks is important. I've always said that it is probably number one. But then that shows to an extent behavior must matter, because if it didn't, then she would still be chasing me now.
Fuck, sorry. There's a problem with Hypercope in the Discord. Yo, can we get this guy out?
Okay, don't say who Hypercope is.
Yeah. Okay. We won't reveal his true identity.
Okay, but I wanted to respond.
Okay, well, he just he already
okay.
revealed himself.
Oh my god, no.
Can we get this guy out of here? Like, Hypercope, just leave the group. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest. I totally forgot you were in here, bro. I'm sorry.
All right, so
okay, we'll remove it.
I was just gonna respond.
I know what to do. I'll just crop the whole. I'll zoom in, right?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
can't you just leave?
Let's just continue with the debate.
All right. Yeah, Hypercope,
okay.
just leave the chat, bro.
Okay,
all right. Yeah. Sorry, chat. Go ahead.
Like that. Yeah. Wait, is he
still there? I can't even. I'm kind of having a hard time remembering what you just said. Could you just summarize what you said for 20 seconds? The Subhuman Slayer.
Show you. Me?
Yeah.
So what I was saying.
Oh yeah, no. So I was going to continue on the example that I had. So about the girl that I was talking to, right? I'll say this. This is not me saying that looks isn't number one, because it is number one. There's no way that I can debate that. The point that I'm trying to make is that I'll say what happened. So when she asked me, "So what are you looking for? Are you a dating coach?" She asked me this a few weeks into talking, because like I said, she was not coming to town until later. Then, because I wasn't that attracted, I was like, "Oh, an exciting connection," right? And then after that, she suddenly stopped responding. So that implies that attraction can go down, even if it was super high to begin with. Now, obviously, the halo effect is a real phenomenon, but it does go to show that there are times where attraction can go down.
Yeah, I mean, nobody here is denying that. We're actually in agreement that what the point was that I made in the beginning is that it's not going to actually get a woman who's not attracted to you, or even increase the attraction of a woman who's only slightly attracted to, who only finds you.
Okay.
No, I can agree on that.
Okay, I was gonna say I think that's a core disagreement we have.
Okay.
I don't think that's true. I don't think it's that game is just about maintaining attraction by doing common sense things. I think it's more about it's more that most guys are gonna make mistakes, and most guys aren't so good looking that they can kind of bypass the need for game. I agree with that. Most guys are not gonna be able to deal with the are not gonna be able to attract women just on their looks alone, and that's why a lot of guys are struggling with dating. But the thing is, just because it doesn't really make a difference for Chads, doesn't mean that it's not going to make a difference for guys that are kind of in the middle. Guys who are in the middle, or even maybe a bit below, need to leverage as many other things as they can. And they need to leverage game. Like most guys, when they're talking to a woman, are going to make several mistakes. They're going to make many mistakes, actually. And, it's not just a matter of having common sense, because if common sense was all you needed, then there would be no need for game. There would be no need for this community. But people actually study.
Jack, we understand your perspective, but explain to me, explain to the audience why game is bad. Like give me even an example would be good of how it's possible to take a woman who's he's okay, right? That's her perspective towards you. And
Okay,
then
I'll give you an
what
example.
can I do in that moment to somehow Jedi mind
Yeah.
trick her into being
Okay,
more
okay,
physically
I'll
into
answer.
me. Yeah, go ahead.
But
It's not a
yes.
Jedi mind trick. It's not a Jedi
Sure, I was
mind
being
trick. It's
facetious.
okay. Okay, I'm gonna say it's okay. I'll give some examples. Most guys, when they talk to a woman, are gonna open the conversation. Let's say in a cold approach, they're gonna open it in a bad way. The way that most guys open these conversations, they're almost apologetic for even being there.
Mhm.
You know, like the way most guys would go up to a woman they saw in a bar, would be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I just wanted to know your name. Oh, it was nice to meet you." Okay, so like, you have to assume attraction, and you have to assume like, and you have to, you know, hold frame. You have to be confident, like display that you're confident, and that's going to display that you have higher value. You know, like if you're an average guy, being confident is going to make you significantly more attractive. Going up to a woman and being confidently being able to, you know, show intent and assert that you're not scared of her reaction, that's going to set you apart from most other guys. That's going to demonstrate that you're confident, and that might even be a bit of pre-selection because it'll demonstrate that you've talked to women before and that you've gotten positive responses. Otherwise, why would you be this confident? It doesn't even need to be true for women to feel that way. And this is the and this it's also true on dating apps. Let's think about dating apps. You know, people don't talk about text game that much, but it's also very crucial. You know, a lot of guys are just very boring on dating apps. They just say, "Hey, how are you?" That's not going to spike a woman's interest because she already gets hundreds of messages like that. If you're the one or two guys that's actually saying something interesting, she's more likely to respond to you. So these are examples of you increasing your chance of success. It's not a matter of taking a woman who has no interest. It's taking a woman who maybe would have, minimal interest in you just a little bit because you don't differentiate yourself, and differentiating yourself from other men through your confidence, through your charisma. And that's what game is fundamentally.
Yeah, but I would add this,
But
right?
show you.
I would say that I agree
Show you. It's my
to a
debate.
degree.
It's my debate.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Let me just if you let me just respond to this one. So let me respond to the one about the dating apps thing. Yeah, you're right. I actually agree with you. If you say hey as your opening message and nothing else, and this chick is getting 1,000 hays from Hinge, Tinder, Instagram, Snap, I don't know, whatever else, right? Your hey is not going to be nothing special. Versus, let's say you say something that's really okay. Okay, I'll give you an example. This is not. I've never been on a dating app. Exposing myself here for being high and hip, but whatever. But I have been on different like social platforms, like meant for different purposes, right? And one girl I saw, she actually at the time she had the exact same major in university as I did, and I messaged her about that, and she responded right away because we had something in common, so we can talk about that. So if you say something interesting to a girl, like you said, Jack, yes, that does increase her chances of responding to it. That's not going to make her attracted to you, right? If I say a funny joke, a girl will laugh. I'm a sub 5. A girl will still laugh if I say a joke. It's happened many times before in my life, right? It's not going to move the needle in terms of her actually like physically being attracted to me. And so that's the thing. So yes, the guy who just says hi versus the guy who is witty, charming, charismatic, he will get more attention, but is he going to get more success? Like actual dating, romantic success? I would say no.
Well, no, he will get more success. And, I guess, the stronger version of that argument would be you saying, well, that's not actually going to make her more attracted to him. It's hard to quantify that, but it's not hard to quantify results. You will get more results if you say more interesting things because women are going to want to be around interesting guys more. Like, that's not like a very difficult concept, I feel like.
I mean, that's what being a jester is. Jesters are interesting. Like being a jester will, and I have firsthand experience with this. I was a jester for a good solid portion of my life to date. And when I was in a social situation, yeah, it got me attention in the moment, but it never lasted. And I understand this is anecdotal. like you said before, none of us has actually any hard proof. But I feel as though if you look at most of the guys who are successful, they're not necessarily anything special. They haven't, summited Mount Kilimanjaro. They don't speak 12 different languages. They're not, exceptional people. And most women aren't exceptional people. Most people are just the average. So you can't say that, oh, you do this, you do that. Like, they want to be around interesting people. Yeah, but do they want to date interesting people? Do they want to sleep with interesting people? No. And like, what really makes somebody want to actually connect with someone in a romantic context other than a friend context? Because a woman can have both, right? She can have her friends, her beta buxes, and her F boys, and then her actual, long-term interest. She can have anything she wants, a desirable woman, that is, right? We're talking about, we don't want guys to be in the friend zone category. I think we both agreed on that, right?
Yeah.
Bro, the guys in my chat are brutal here. They're roasting you, bro. I'm sorry, man. But they're all BPers, so don't take it personally. But you know what I'm saying, right? So we want guys to be in the romantic category. Maybe you want them to be in the F-boy category. That's fine. But so explain to me how game is going to get me from that point to the other point.
Wait, from what point to what point?
Like friend zone to bone zone.
Well, I mean, I don't know if this is what you're talking about. It's not really easy to go from the friend zone in a specific woman to going to like the F zone. But like, what do you mean by that? Like, do you mean like just in general, like going from like a nice guy to like a player type of guy?
Yeah, so you're saying your point is that game, like all the social techniques that you use can actually build a woman's attraction towards you, so that a woman who perhaps just on the basis of your looks would see you as just some other guy, right? Maybe she'll be your friend or an acquaintance or something like that. Versus now you can increase it to the point where she will actually see you as a potential romantic prospect, right? So how does that work?
Well, I think I just want to go back to really quickly. I'll answer your question. I just wanted to say it's not a matter of just being an interesting person and that's what attracts her to you. I think, you kind of took that and I think maybe the way I didn't intend. What I was saying is like, you have to increase your funnel. Okay. So if the less mistakes you make, the larger funnel you are going to have like to attract women. Like if you open women like in a cold approach, in better ways, then there are going to be more women that are going to be able to stick around want to stick around in a conversation that can lead to you getting their number. Or on a dating app, you can open with a more interesting message, and then the woman is more likely to respond. You're going to have more women to talk to, and this is going to be a larger funnel that you can make plans with and meet up with. And it's not just that, they're not attracted to you at all. It's like that. It's just you're boring and you're undifferentiated if you're just an average guy. But it is possible to raise interest, to go from having like no interest at all to having some interest. You can see infield videos of like pickup artists. Like there's some really skilled guys that can do that. That's not the primary purpose of game. I think is going for women that don't find you attractive at all, then finding them, and then they start to find you more attractive. The primary purpose is to find women that are kind of iffy about you. You might say that category, it's not even worth trying at that point. It's either the girl likes you or she doesn't. But you'll hear women themselves say that guys essentially fall into three different categories. And I wouldn't typically, listen to dating advice that women give, but this is one streak of honesty that they have. There are three categories they put them in. Like there's the guys that are no's, there are the guys that are maybes, and then there's a very small percentage of guys that are yeses. If you're a guy in that maybe category, which if you're average looking, you often will be, using game is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you differentiate yourself from other guys and not make mistakes that are typically made in the process of attracting a woman.
Okay, about that no, maybe, yes thing. Like, yeah, the yeses are a very small percentage of the male population, but in terms of number, there's plenty of them. Like, a girl is never going to actually have to set. Like, you understand? Like, in my experience, a girl would rather just be like single and just not have a dude than like settle for like a guy that she's just not really into. Because if you think about and maybe we'll touch on this in another topic. But if you think about dating in the 21st century in the modern West, right? It's just really just about it's all about having fun, right? It's not about no girl in our age. We're all in our 20s, like early 20s, I would say, including show you. Is like
Yeah.
she's thinking about, oh, the next guy I date is gonna be like my future, like the father of my children. She's not in that mentality. So that's why I don't believe in like, to be honest with you, I don't believe in the concept of maybe that much of being in a maybe category. And I would say if you are in that category, it's mostly just luck. So the funnel part, I totally agree with you. You want to have for guys who are actively trying. Again, I'm not in that category, but for guys who are actively
You think
trying,
it's luck?
yeah, like okay. So I made this point in actually the last recorded video that I uploaded about what's that dude's name again? Alex from PWF, right? Look at his. Because I used to read Alex a lot when I was first getting into the manosphere. All of his like text game guides, it's literally just over and over again, just like hitting up a girl until the night that girl is horny enough, like she just wants a guy, and she's like, okay, this guy is hot enough, right? I swiped on
I
him.
know this point. You're saying it's persistence. It's not game. That's what you're gonna say,
I
right?
would even like it. What he's doing is persistence. And for most guys who aren't like spending their entire, I mean, a lot of guys are, but for most guys who aren't doing that, like spending so much time focused on the apps, it's just luck, right? You just happen to find a girl, she finds you hot and she's ready, and then you have the ONS, right? Um, so if you want to say that game like persistence is game, then I'm ready to concede that point to you. But in terms of the kind of game that you were actually talking about before, no, I don't think that's going to cut it at all. Remember, those girls at Alex's text game guides, they find him hot. That's why they swipe. That's why they matched with him, right? You don't match someone on dating app unless you find them hot. So, and then they were just
if they find him hot, then why did they ghost him? Why did they ghost him if they find him hot?
Because they've got 20 other Chads, and they've got other things, and they don't care that much. They don't care that much. They like. For you or I, like a woman is a valuable. I don't want to get taken down for resource for comparing women to objects, but like a woman is a valuable resource, right? Right? Like we're not guaranteed women every single day in our bed, right? For these girls, they can get a guy whenever they want. They don't care. Like, yeah, they find Alex attractive. They find this other guy attractive. Oh, hey, you know what? I want to hang out with my friends tonight. I'm sure that's happened to some of you guys, right? Like, having a girl flake on you at the last minute. Why did she set up the plan? She set up the plan because she likes you enough to actually go out with you, but she still flakes because she's got other things going in her life and she doesn't really care that much. And game isn't going to help you there.
Well, I wouldn't say that playing with fire's text game is just
Jack, let's do just one more point because I think we've been talking about game for a while. So you want to do one more rebuttal and then we'll go on?
Okay, I'll do one more rebuttal and then you can respond to me. I guess I'll talk for like a little bit here. I was gonna say that playing with fire's text game, I don't think that that's just persistence. There's a lot of stuff there that's not just persistence. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like you can just attract a Stacy if you're a sub 5 just because you have good text game. But if you're like a normie, having good text game is gonna like I feel like I said this like 100 times. It's gonna differentiate yourself from the other normies. Obviously normies are gonna struggle with dating. I agree with that, but it's gonna differentiate yourself, and you're gonna increase your funnel. You're gonna have a higher chance. I'll give some specific examples. PWF recommends soft closing before hard closing a date. What this means is when you go ask a girl on a date, you don't actually ask her on the date right away. What you suggest a date, you say something like, I think we should get together sometime soon, something easier for the girl to agree with, and also you come off as less eager, and then you make the specific plans. That's an example of a text game technique that's going to increase your rate of success. And we could also talk about in real life game. It's just I don't think you could ever convince me that it's not going to make a difference, being really nervous and saying, simpy weird things versus saying confident or, more attractive things that you can learn from maybe watching some videos or, just getting experience yourself. You're not going to convince me that makes no difference, because I see the results that awkward guys who are average looking get, and I see the results that guys who have practiced game get who are average looking, and it's night and day. It's a massive difference, and I'm not even arguing, I totally think that, it's possible to go from having very, very little attraction to having a decent amount of attraction with great game. But I think that's pretty rare. For most guys, what I would say is that game is about not messing up. And most guys mess up in their interactions with women and say the wrong thing. And the only guys that can get away with that are Chads. And sub fives, their perspective is that it doesn't really matter what I say because I'm always going to get rejected. But I think that if you're like at least like a 4 out of 10, then game is going to make a difference. I don't feel like I think it is. I just think it's pretty conclusive. I don't know. I just see so much evidence that game makes a massive difference, and it just doesn't really register to me how you could possibly think that it doesn't matter at all. But that's all I had to say.
All right, thank you, Jack. Okay, show you your mod here. So next topic, let's keep it to 20 minutes because we kind of went over on that one. All right, let me pin the next topic in my chat right here. Got to scroll.
Yeah, we couldn't really find much common ground on that one, I feel like.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like we're always going to disagree on that, but
I mean, that's sort of the fundamental difference between our ideologies. So, all right, next topic though.
Yeah,
I believe I pinned it. It's going to be the importance of.
Just before we start this new topic, to clarify, SubhumanSlayer, I'm not sure how often you watch my videos, but would you consider my viewpoints be closer to yours or Jack's?
Jack. I mean, yeah, Jack, definitely.
Oh, okay. We can agree on that. Okay, so the second one is the importance of status to dating for the average man. So what do you guys think? How much does status matter in dating compared to looks and height?
All right, so the reason I actually titled this point for the average man is because, look, there's no doubt that when you're Clav and you're a world famous, I guess he is world famous at this point, streamer, okay? It's not just Clav's looks that are getting him his success. Let's be clear. It's his status, right? And that's why when he went to Europe, like, I guess most people know what he's doing, who he is, right? Versus when he's talking to hoes 304s at ASU or whatever. And he's this famous guy and like all those cameras are there. Absolutely, status matters. Like, and if anybody who disagrees with that, I think they're way off at that point. But the average man is not Clav. And I'm not even talking about the looks. The average man does not walk around every day with like 20 cameras pointed at him, live streaming to X many people, right? The average man is not DiCaprio. The average man is not Elon Musk, right? So I think Jack has his own definition of status that is applicable to the average man. And he believes that this is going to be something that helps you. What Jack calls status, I believe YBC Too Cold, quick shout out to him. It's what he calls, what does he call it again? Pre-selection, right? So, but Jack, go ahead and define it for us.
Well, status is going to be a mix of pre-selection and social proof. Social proof is going to be your approval from people in general. And, but whereas pre-selection, that will also contribute to status, but it's just going to be women finding you attractive. But yeah, I agree. Pre-selection is pretty close to status, but I would also add social proof in there, which is a bit different. But
I think that's okay. Go ahead and define it for us then.
Well, status is essentially your social standing within a group. It's not something that's unique to humans. Like, tons of different animals have their own version of social status. Especially our closest relative, the chimpanzee. They're definitely a very status, focused species.
Okay, so for that, I think this is a bit of a circular argument from your perspective, right? Because women are 50% of the population the last time I checked. So social status is inexorably tied in with like your interactions with women and how women perceive you, right? And you're saying women are going to be more attracted to you if you do have this status. But I don't think it's even possible to gain the status if women aren't even attracted to you in the first place, right here.
Well, you can, the thing is you can act like you have it. That's the thing.
Okay.
It's not like status is only perceived. Status is in the eye of the beholder. Status is not a real tangible thing. Status is just what you are perceived to be. Status is the only thing
cope,
where if
bro.
people
I'm
think
sorry.
you have it, you have it.
This is cope. No, this is total cope. When you talked about you can fake it till you make it with like confidence around women, okay, I can see where you're coming from. But social status is nothing to do with you personally, right? It's how other people treat you. It's about your social
Yeah,
circle,
and you can
right?
influence how other
If
people
I have no
see
friends,
you.
Jack, I can't pretend that I have friends, right? That's just never going to happen for
Sure,
me.
you can. Yes, of course you can. And
Where are they? I'm
that's
going to show up
bad
at the party.
mistake.
Here are my friends. Who are they? You know?
You could say like, "Oh, I was just texting." You could text on your phone, pretend you're texting your friend. You're actually texting Show You Connects or something like that.
Well, Show You is my friend, so there you go. I never said. I just said
You
I'm
met
sub
him like
5. I never said I had no
30 minutes
friends.
ago.
Well, yeah.
You met him like 30 minutes ago.
It was friendship at love at first sight,
pretty
platonic
good.
love at first sight between me and Show You. You know. Well, sorry. Let's get back.
But I was just okay. I was gonna say, okay.
Let's get
I
back
see your point. You relayed this point to me last night. We talked a little bit. We didn't like debate. We just had a friendly conversation, much friendlier than this debate, though. I don't think this is getting like that heated. I was gonna. So what your point is that status. You acknowledge that status matters for guys that are in that very top echelon, like
Absolutely.
clavicular or whatever. So you think the way you see status is like status is something that most people just don't really have. Status is something that the elites have. That's your point, right?
Yes. And
Well, that's not really true. I mean,
okay.
okay, let's talk about the context of like a college. Like I think it's pretty obvious to see which of these two people would have more status. Like a frat guy who's like acts kind of alpha, who has like a bunch of women that are attracted to him, or like a nerdy like CS major who wears like anime shirts like every day and does Naruto runs and stuff. Like which one of those people has status?
I was that guy who did the Naruto runs and but yeah, absolutely. And I can just tell you from my personal experience there. And you kind of gave the game away in your last when you just said there. It's like the frat guy who has all the girls attracted to him. It's again, it's a circular. It's like the Ouroboros. You're eating yourself here.
Okay, but maybe the frat guy didn't always have girls that were attracted to him, or maybe it's only the perception.
This is something. This is something I actually noticed when I was in university and I was just getting into the BP, right? I just made this connection where I was going to the library and I was studying until 3 a.m. every night. And all around me, there'd be guys of my height, Asians. Yeah, they're all basically just Chinese guys grinding for their EE exam or something like that, right? And then I'd walk through, fraternity row at my university to go back to my apartment, and I'd see, tall 6'3" white chads, right? Tell me, why is it that all the guys? It's not accidental, is what I'm saying. Like, there's a reason people are in their proper places. There's a reason all those short, skinny Asian dudes are in the library, and all the tall white chads, right? They're the ones at the frat parties and stuff like that. There's a reason these things happen. It's not like you can't just fake it, Like
okay,
I could show up 5'7".
I'll admit this.
Yeah.
I'll concede this. I kind of screwed myself a little bit by giving that example.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you something that's much harder for you to refute. Okay, what if there are two guys that look basically identical? Like two guys, but they're both the same height, same looks, same ethnicity, whatever. One of them is like a nerdy CS major who like watches anime, and one of them is like a cool, regular guy who like maybe I don't know, who's like interested in like sports or whatever. Like which one of those guys is gonna have higher status? I'm not even talking about will get more women. Which one of those guys is gonna have more friends? Is going to have more people want to talk to them.
So I actually totally agree with you. And this is something that I promote to my viewers all the time. That's why I call myself a white pillar. I don't even say I'm part of the BP community, really. I call myself a white pillar because I do encourage guys to do those things. And we were saying even before the debate started, Avi asked a question about BP forums and stuff like that. I told him, you got to stay off that shit, man. Right? Because these people they're just like people who want to drag you down and make you losers like them. You got to try to maximize your exposure, your friend circle in order to have a better quality of life. The only difference is don't expect this to get you girls. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, you think I've never been to a party before? I've been to a party before. I've been to house parties, right? It's possible, but you're just not gonna get.
But you never kissed or hugged a girl before.
Yeah,
like,
on KHHV. Yeah, I'm KHHV because of
Why is that? Why do you think that is?
probably because of my appearance, yeah, and my height.
So like you've never seen a guy who's like as good looking as you who has done any of those things, who even had like basic interactions with women. I'm not some like turbo Chad here. I'm not shaming you, like you know that.
Mhm.
I'm just saying like you know what I mean? Like there are probably guys that look pretty similar to you that have gotten results with women before.
To be honest,
Some results.
I don't. Like I'm looking at just like comparing my staff, my ETH, my ethnicity, my height, my rough facial like ranking and stuff like that, my build. No, I don't really see guys like me killing it as opposed to. And you know what? Like I'll be honest with you. I'm pretty sure I have like when you actually measure up those, I'm pretty sure I have a better like okay, I don't want to make this too personal about like my success, your success, or whatever. But I'm pretty sure I have a better social life now than most guys with my stats, right? And I'm just being honest with you. Like I go out, I talk to people and stuff like that. I have a pretty good friend circle, including Chads, by the way. I know maybe some guys in the chat are going to be upset about that. I'm friends with Chads. I don't care. What was I going to say? But the one thing, let's not talk too much about our personal. Let's not make it like a personal attack or anything like that. But I do want the one thing I do want to say is that you mentioned like the guy which one's better? The guy who's into anime. Apparently, there's an anime convo in the chat right now. The guy who's into anime versus the guy who's into sports. So the one thing, like when you're talking about high school, for example, the one thing I think that actually does build your status is being a sports star. Like absolutely, if you're coming from like a small town where America.
It's not the only thing that builds your status. There are tons of ways to build status, and there are tons of things that kill your status, like being like super non and like well not I won't say that. I'll say like being nerdy, being awkward, having weird interests. But yeah, I agree that like being a sports star, yeah, that definitely will give you status within a school. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Or
I would
a
say that's
college.
probably like in high school, especially. In high school, it's probably
I
like
just don't know what we disagree on, you know? Like what are we disagreeing about here?
so. Let me just finish my point here. I would say so. The disagreement between me and you is I'm saying that the line I used earlier is there's a reason everybody is in the place that they're in, right? There's a reason that the little skinny short Asian dudes are in the library at 3 a.m. while the tall white chads are partying, right? And it's not like you can fraud it. You can't fake it. You can't. And you can, to an extent, you can actively have a better quality of life. And I promote that by getting more friends, developing newer interests and stuff like that. But that will not actually improve your romantic success. But just to finish my own point about the sports thing right here. So I would say the number one giver of status at the high school level would probably being an athlete. And you even mentioned like the guy who's into sports. I would say that's genetic, like, you know why I'm not into sports? I don't watch sports. I've never been interested in them. I've never really played them, although I was on a team in high school. It's because I'm short and I'm not that naturally gifted at athletics and stuff like that. So do you see how even all the way down to your teenage years, like I do believe genetics is the prime mover here.
It's a move. Okay, I'm never going to say that genetics don't matter. You're never going to hear those words come out of my mouth ever. I'm just going to say that it's a mix of both. It's a mix of nature and nurture. This is what science finds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not one or the other. It's not tabula rasa and it's not genetic determinism. It's both of them at the same time. And this is what and your environment like heavily influences you, but also you can make decisions, you know, regardless of your environment and your genetics. And you can put yourself in different environments in order to shape and model your personality. And it's really not that hard for you to change your personality in like surface level ways. You know, it's hard to fundamentally change who you are. Like you're not going to go from being a highly, you know, socially anxious person to being a boisterous, loud, confident person within a month or two. That's not going to happen. But you can stop doing things that are killing you. You know, you can stop wearing, you know, clothing with, you know, with nerdy logos on it. You know, you can stop being an anime nerd. You know, you can stop I don't know, being into a bunch of weird stuff. You can start trying to mold your personality and into more high status things, you know?
Mm.
You could become a musician. You could pick up the guitar. You could start singing, like someone in the chat said. You know, there are a lot of things you can do to increase your status. And like, this is something that most people intuitively know, you know? Like, if you do some weird stuff and you make a mistake in high school or a college, that's going to lower your status and that's going to lower your reputation, you know? It's like not everyone is there for a reason. I think there are, there are some people that have very non-NT personalities. They're, pretty much screwed. But for the people that are in the middle, between having highly charismatic personalities, just inherently genetically, versus having very weird, strange personalities, there are a whole bunch of people in the middle that can adjust. You can go from having like a, you know, below average confidence to having maybe average confidence. You can make these changes happen. And like anecdotally, I've done it. I used to be a much more awkward and shy person,
I've done it, man.
when I
I've
was like
done it.
14, 15.
I've done it. So we're both proof. Like, and I don't like everything you just said there. I don't disagree with that at all. Like, I absolutely feel that, yeah, you should, like, absolutely. I want people to improve I want like sub fives who follow me. I want them to improve their confidence. I want them to get out there. I want them to try, make connections with other people and develop new interests, like, music, if that's an interest of yours and stuff like that. But I also want you to be realistic and not think that, and this is my biggest beef by far with the RP, is that the RP oftentimes it promotes positive values and stuff like that. But it's promoting them, but there's this unlike with the idea that at the end of the tunnel there's going to be a woman waiting for you. I think you should just promote them on their own merits. I think, yeah, like being more confident, like let's say building sports is going to be good for your health, your physique, your overall confidence. Having more friendship is good. Let's all do these things, but let's not pretend that for everybody there's going to be a woman waiting for them at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, well, it's not for everybody. For most people, it's not impossible. I wouldn't even say it's impossible for you. And maybe impossible is a bit too strong. It's not highly unlikely that you will end up having a girlfriend one day. I don't think it is.
For me?
And you might think it is. Yeah.
You don't even know what I look like, bro.
Well, you told me your stats, so
Yeah,
I basically know where you stand.
Mm.
And what I'm going to say is, okay, you're saying, well, why is the RP promoting these things as like a vehicle to attract women? Shouldn't you promote these things because they're good? I'm saying that we're promoting these things because attracting women is a goal that most men have inside of them biologically, unless like, you have some like you're gay,
yeah.
or like you have some sort of like asexuality,
I think we're getting,
low testosterone.
I think we're getting a little bit away from the focus of the topic right here.
Well, I guess the focus of the topic is that status is not something that's unique to, or not something that's chiefly associated with these, top echelon people. It's also everyday people. Everyday people have status, and you even have status with people you interact with for less than 30 seconds. You can kind of estimate someone's level of status from a short interaction. If you say hi to someone on the street, the way they respond to that, you can kind of get a feel for what their status is.
Okay, I think that's a little bit too far, but yeah, in a conversation, like if I'm talking to someone at a party, yeah, I can estimate how social.
No, it's not too far because you can tell there's so many cues of this. Like there's so much body language in us. We're great apes. I'm sure you know that we're a species of great ape. Great apes can tell someone's status pretty easily by their body language. The apes that are of lower status, they kind of hunch down. They don't make eye contact. The ones that are of higher status stand up straight, look into each other's eyes and are confident with their body language. You can tell very, very quickly. And it's very like all encompassing your level of status. But it's very relative. I'll also say that. It's not absolute. But that's precisely why you can work on it. And I'm not saying that you should work on your status over like game or other things like that. Because, I think that your status is going to be more set comparatively than your game when talking to women. Once you already have a reputation for yourself, It's not going to be as easy to raise your reputation as it's going to be to behave more high status in general. But game is essentially a lot of game is just essentially behaving more high status, behaving more pre-selected is what I'd say. But I might be going on a bit of a tangent there. Do you maybe want to switch topics, or should we continue?
Yeah, I
with
do
this?
want. I do want. Let's switch topics. But I do have like one point because I just never. I was supposed to make it earlier. Even the things I was saying before. Yes, I want people to engage in sports. I want people to find a new passion, and like work on it and actually develop like skills in their life and stuff like that. I'm trying to do that right now, and I'm trying to increase that for myself personally. But I want them to do it for the right reason, and the right reason is because you're not satisfied. Like, I didn't play any sports. I like when people ask me, like, I used to run in high school, but I didn't have anything I was doing besides gym, and I really wanted to become more athletic and stuff like that. So I picked up something new, right? So I think that's a good reason to try something out. I don't want people to get into the mentality that, oh, if I like anime, this is something that's despised by society. Women hate me specifically for the reason that I like anime or something like that. I don't want people I want people to broaden their perspectives, but in a wholesome Chungus way, because they're genuinely interested in trying new things and expanding their horizons, right? Because it's not true, by the way. I think some people have said, I haven't been following the chat too carefully, but a lot of people were saying that here, like, you can actually absolutely be a guy who's into like super niche anime or some what you would call like low status hobbies or interests and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter. They're getting girls. Like, girls like anime too. Like, girls like every kind of thing that
Most girls don't like anime. Most
Asian girls
people
show
don't.
you.
Like,
Come
most
on, back
people
me up.
think it's
Asian
weird.
girls like anime.
I kind of think anime is weird. Like, if you watch anime, like, there's some animes that are like kind of normal, but if you actually watch that shit like every day, you're kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. You're kind of a weird person.
I mean, it's not my vibe.
No, but I mean, like,
I don't watch anime, but
no, but I feel like it doesn't matter that much. Like, if you watch anime, right?
Mhm.
I feel like if she's attracted to you,
Well, is this
it's
gonna
not
be
gonna
every
matter
point?
that
Like,
much.
it doesn't matter if you're Chad. It doesn't matter. You
No,
know,
but
if you're
like, it
Chad, then you
shouldn't
can watch
matter no
anime.
matter how attractive you are, because
But
if
I'm
her
saying
attractiveness
It's
it
every
is
doesn't
point that
lower.
black
I'm
girls
saying
make.
sure, but
Like,
if
do you
her
guys have anything else
attraction
to
is that
say?
fragile,
If
then
you're
she's not
Chad,
gonna wanna
it
be
doesn't
with you.
matter, bro.
no, Jack. I think
Sorry,
you're.
Shoyu. Go ahead.
I think you're misunderstanding Shoyu's point. Then he's saying that you're saying that there like a low status hobby is gonna forget about Chad. We don't need to glaze Chad like all the other BPers here. Okay, let's talk about the ordinary Melvin, right? Like, I don't think like having like a so-called low status hobby like watching anime is actually going to lower Melvin's status or whatever like that. Most girls will be like, oh yeah, cool, you like to watch anime, and maybe she likes to watch it too. And believe me, like, because I've just been in environments with like lots of Asian people, it just how my life played out, even though I'm actually
Okay, well,
not Asian. Believe me, Asian girls like anime, so that's not going to hurt you.
most people in America are not Asian, though, right?
Yeah, again, we also come from different parts of I'm not going to like spoil it here, but we come from different parts of the country, Jack, and like where I'm from, like people of like maybe it's not as low status as you think it is. Again, and I'm not coping here. I don't watch anime myself. I've never gotten into it. And actually, that's like with some of the people I'm around, that's like cost me like conversation opportunities because I can't engage because I don't watch it, Let's move on.
I mean, yeah, you might have a point. Like, maybe I guess I can reveal my general location.
Yeah.
I mean, in the Midwest, maybe it's like not as cool here, but
yeah, I'm not lying by the way. Like, there are times where like there's a group conversation and the topic, like in the circles that I've passed through in my life, and the topic has switched to anime, and literally I can't say anything because I don't watch anime. But that's not what we're really focusing on. Let's move on to the next topic. I gotta scroll up through like 5 billion messages to find. Okay, I can't even. You know what? Wait. Okay, here. Yeah, I got it. All right, let me pin it. Thanks. By the way, thank you, Shoyu, for engaging the people in the chat. I don't know if you're doing. I'm not looking at your chat. I don't know how many people are on it, but thank you you're on my chat too. I appreciate that. Okay, so the next. Yeah. Okay, somebody already has their perspective on this, but the third topic is going to be: is hiring a dating coach a good idea for the average man? Jack, you can go first.
Okay, this was the one I suggested. I would say that hiring a dating coach is a perfectly good idea with some qualifiers. I think that there are plenty of scammers out there, but there are plenty of you know, guys who are pretty honest with their coaching, and their coaching isn't even that expensive. There's some guys that charge like high, have super high ticket programs, but like Shaw You Connects, he started a Patreon, and there's some value on there. There's some videos that can't be found on YouTube that are about interesting topics.
Yeah, quick
And
quick
Shaw
plug
You's
for
like
my
an honest
Patreon, by the
guy.
way, guys. If anybody, sorry to interrupt you, Jack. I got a shill for more money here, but yeah, I recently launched a Patreon myself. There's a Discord channel associated with it. It's kind of inactive at the moment, but I'm gonna start posting regular polls, and also there's gonna be some more like specialty
Yeah, check that out, everyone.
individual content. Yeah, sorry, I got to shill a little bit more. All right, Jack, get back to it.
Yeah, so I know it's not exactly the same. I know dating being, like not all paid content is coaching, but I'm saying that a financial incentive doesn't make it mean someone's dishonest or a bad person. And the thing about, dating coaches is that paying money, if you have, so here's the thing. If you're making like an average to below average salary, then like getting a high ticket program, yeah, I think that's dumb. You're wasting money. You're spending too much money on something that, some information that realistically, you'd just be better off, trying to work on getting more money, or just like investing that money elsewhere. But I would say, if you have like a decent amount of income, if you have like, a decent job, I don't know, if you're making like 60, 70K or more, like I don't think getting like a dating coach is really a bad idea. Like paying money is also going to motivate you to be consistent with it, right? And having a community around you is going to motivate you to be consistent with improving your dating results. So I don't think hiring a dating coach is uniformly a bad idea. I think that, there are certain precautions that you should take, but, there are real coaches that are real, like honest people. There's some coaches that will even say things that, don't necessarily get them the most viewers, most clients, like YBC Too Cold. Like he said himself that he would get more clients if he was dishonest about, how many results you could get using his methods. He's very honest about the fact that rejection is very common, that you're going to have to use a mix of different things, that there's not one answer to it, but he still, is a coach. He can go find a school community, and you know, and he probably makes money from that. But he's not a dishonest person, and there are plenty of people like that who make money from being a dating coach, who genuinely do want to help people and are honest about what's possible.
Yeah. So my contention with this question was not that I believe all dating coaches are uniformly, as a matter of their profession, dishonest, scamming people. That was never what I believe, and I'm glad you brought up YBC. I like him. I think he's a good guy. I wouldn't pay for whatever the AI app he's got right now personally, but I think that's a little bit silly. But I think he's a good guy, right? So he's a good example of that. So my problem with a dating coach is I don't believe that they're actually going to give you a benefit. So here's the thing. So for a lot of other coaches, I actually, if I had the money, I would advise, or like if somebody had the money, I would advise them to actually use that service if they felt like they needed it. For example, a dietitian. Why? Because let's say your diet is not good and there's just too much information on the internet. You don't know what to follow, right? Dietitian actually, he comes with knowledge, right? That he can pass down to you if you pay him for that knowledge, right? So it makes sense to me why somebody would hire a dietitian, a personal trainer. Maybe you don't know. There are so many different like strategies or like philosophies of weightlifting. You don't know how to optimize. And then you just hire one guy and you can just trust him, and he has knowledge and he can pass that knowledge to you. So that's the critical part, that they're actually able to pass the knowledge to you. Success in dating, that's not necessarily something that I can give to someone else, or someone that can give to someone else, right? Like I said, I have Chad friends that are very successful in dating, and I'm sure if they could, they would give me that same success, but they can't, right? Because success in dating, it doesn't just come from within, right? Getting a proper diet leading out, right? That comes from within. You just got to control what you put in your body every single day. So effort in the gym. Okay, there is a genetic component to like how aesthetic you're gonna look. Oh shit, show you just dropped out. Oh
Yeah, I think he's going to sleep. I don't know.
yeah, he is going to sleep. All right, it's okay. We can self mod. All right, is he still streaming this on his channel?
I'm not sure. I mean, he doesn't actually have that much viewership. You actually have
Most viewer. Okay,
more
well,
viewership than he does.
it's okay. I can try to send the recording to him, and he can post it so we can get more views later. I think that would be the best strategy. Oh, show you still here. Show you. Are you still streaming?
Yeah, he's just not on the call.
Yeah, okay. He says automatically post. Great. What was I going to say? Yeah, so success in dating, that's not something that can just like I can't teach that to someone else if I have it. And that's the main reason that I would say hiring a dating coach is a waste of time. And if you do have the money for a dating coach, you would be much better off in your dating success if you use that money to, for example, hire a dietitian, hire a personal trainer, hire a guy for quality photos on the dating apps that are maybe going to ascend you by 1 point or whatever.
Well, the thing about a dietitian is that's only one part of it, you know? Like I think that you would benefit from buying a coaching program probably more than you would benefit from getting a dietitian because you're
I
already
totally
lean,
disagree with
you know?
that.
Like you're already in decent enough shape to where I just don't really think it will make that huge of a difference.
Oh, sorry, you're talking to me about me personally.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about in general. Like absolutely, like come on, you agree lean is law, right?
I don't think it's law. I think that being lean is one of many factors that you should probably try to optimize. But like if you're not, but you don't have to be very lean in order to attract women. I don't think that's true. Just like you don't have to have you know really tall height to be attractive to women. It's like it's one of many factors.
Oh, okay, fine. That's not the topic that we're discussing here. So we can just move on from that. But you're saying that okay, your point was that I would benefit more from a dating coach than a dietitian. You can just keep going.
Sorry, I was just reading this comment in the chat. Sub5Slayer and the other dude, they're not low IQ debaters.
Thank you, Abby. I think Abby's paying us a compliment. He's paying us a compliment. So thank you, Abby.
Yeah, that's that. Thanks, Abby. But did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I just wanted you to finish your point. That's all.
Yeah, I guess we could probably move on from this topic. I thought it would be, I put it in there probably just to have another topic, but I don't think it's like super in depth.
Fair enough. I think so. We've both, but I would like to hear though, because I actually don't even understand. Like, what do you believe? My point is that a dating coach is not going to be able to like provide you with anything. Like, he can't transfer his success. Even if he is successful, he can't transfer that to you. What do you think? What do you think is the value that a dating coach provides? Because I'm actually curious.
Well, there are a few things. I would say that for one, knowledge. I mean, you can see people will say. Someone even commented this on one of Shoyu's posts. Like he was saying, "I'm starting this Patreon, blah blah," and someone commented, they were like, "There's nothing that you're able to say that people can find out for yourselves. Everything you say is just BP common knowledge." And he's not even BP, by the way. Yeah. But I think that this is someone who it's kind of analogous to like a medical doctor. Like you could find out all that information yourself, but you're not going to have the fluency with it. You're not going to have all that information memorized, and you're not going to know how things work or why they work. And that's why we trust doctors for advice. You trust someone like a dating coach for advice, not exactly the same way, because. But it's like you get the analogy I'm making. Like this is someone who has studied and who has a certain level of knowledge, if they're not like a scammer, who can kind of diagnose your problems and help you solve them. I feel like even you could probably fill that role because you have a certain knowledge of how dating works. Even if I disagree with you on certain things, you have more knowledge on how dating works than like the average Joe.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. If I get a little bit of a bigger viewership, and I'm also expanding my real world knowledge. I'm trying to be less high and hip and expand that. And I think further down the line, I will launch something like that. But I guess the main difference is this is going to come down to what we've already discussed in the first 2 points, is that you believe a lot more in game and status, right? And I believe a lot more in looks than you do. So I think it just comes down to that, right? Like I would prefer that somebody optimize for their own looks before talking to someone about a dating coach. Because I think a dating coach, really, he's going to teach you like social skills and interactions. And I believe less in that than you do. I think that's what it comes down to. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't think we have to continue with this.
Right. I was just
Let's
trying
go to
to summarize the point. Let's go to the next one. All right. So cold approach is the next topic. Do I believe cold approach is a good strategy for the average man to pursue? Go ahead. So you believe, I recall that you think it should be a mixed strategy. Guys should pursue a mixed strategy. So I would assume you mean by that online, like dating apps, warm approaches from your social circles or social connections you're making, and then in addition to that, cold approach. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's my position. But I would say cold approach is probably the best out of all of those.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I didn't realize that's what you believe. So can you elaborate on that, please?
Well, I mean, I'll specify. I would rank dating apps and cold approach actually both much better than warm approach, I would say. But I would say, yeah, cold approach
Warm approach has
versus
its
apps.
issues.
I would say,
I agree. Warm approach has its issues. I'll get into it, but yeah, keep going.
yeah, I'm glad we agree about that. But the thing about cold approach, so the average guy in dating apps, or pretty much any guy who's not like a Chad,
Mhm.
when they go on dating apps, they basically just get mass rejected. Like that's what happens, right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like they get swiped left on, and then their profile gets buried, and like they're basically fighting for scraps. That's what happens online. But the thing is, there are basically issues in every avenue of meeting women, you know. But like I would say that cold approach is going to minimize most of the issues. So the issues with the apps is that you're not actually. So first of all, you're not actually building the skill of talking to women as much as you would in person. You know, you're going to be texting women. You're going to probably learn some strategies on how to text, but you know, you're not going to learn how to actually interact with a woman in real life and have charisma in real life. But also, you know, your profile is just going to get buried is the thing. Like it's not even that, like, you know, some people will say, you know, a girl who would have swiped left on me on Tinder or Hinge is going to, you know, find me attractive in real life. A lot of the time, most of the time, they're just not going to see your profile. Like,
Fair enough.
actually attractive women on dating apps, like not even like mid women on dating apps, women that aren't absolutely chopped, they don't even have to swipe that much because they're already getting bombarded with likes, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's fair enough. And again, like
and it's
I think
like,
everybody in the world, like even if you're blue pilled, BP'd, RP'd, I'm pretty sure everyone in the world agrees that average guys, I mean, it's just a fact that average guys are not having success on the dating apps, right? So here's my
yeah,
perspective.
anyone who's not delusional. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Which,
living
like,
in like
honestly,
a
most
completely different
kind of
reality
are.
than us. Yeah. Here's why I would still say that dating apps are a better option. So you talk about the algorithm. I have to be honest with you. I do feel like when people talk about the algorithm, that's a little bit of a cope for them not being attractive. Like in general, like well, not necessarily they are the ones coping, but like a lot of people, like for example, in the RP community who are selling something, they like to say, "Oh, hey, buddy, the reason you're not having success on on the dating apps, it's because of the algorithm. It's not your fault." Now, if you do cold approaches, then it's totally different. The reality is, yes, like it's going to be hard. It's harder to get visibility. Not every woman is going to like your profile isn't going to be seen by every woman because they don't have to swipe so much. Like you said, that's correct, right? But if you are on the apps for a prolonged period of time, you will get seen by women. And if you don't, it's because every woman that did see you initially swiped left on you, and they just don't. And that means that you're ugly. Basically, they don't find you attractive. If you are attractive to women, like to a certain extent, to some women maybe, you will get swiped right on occasionally when the women do see you. And the other thing is that remember the dating app companies, the Match Group, they are trying to get money from you, they're not trying to kick you off the platform, right? If somebody is having absolutely nothing, like zero right swipes, except for maybe a bot or a scammer, right? Eventually they are going to leave the platform, and Match Group doesn't want that. So it doesn't make sense to say that like the Match Group algorithm, it's specifically designed to like target men and like get men no results. Like, why would that be within their profit interest, right? They want men to spend more time, more money on the app. So it doesn't make sense that they would actually want to hurt you in that way. Here's why I don't believe cold approaches are going to be a good waste of time. It's because cold approach and the dating apps are literally just looks. Okay, yes, me and you, you and I, we have some disagreements about the role of game and status. We've already hashed those out before, but we definitely agree that on a dating app, or when you literally just say nothing to a person, like, and all they see about you is your face, which is what going up to a random girl is about. It is mostly just looks. I would say like a dating app, because you're not even talking to a woman. So that's literally just looks. And then I can be generous and say that a cold approach is mostly looks. We'll just say that. Okay.
Okay.
Are you good? Are you
So
okay with
the
that?
thing is,
Are you
wait,
okay?
what?
Are you okay with that so far? I have something a little bit more to say, but like, do you agree with that?
You know, I think I agree that, you know, it's not just the algorithm that's screwing you. You know, it's not just the like they don't yeah, they're not purposely like screwing you with the, you know, hiding your profile or whatever, like making it so that you get no likes at all. What I'm saying is that I think the thing about IRL interaction, it's more it's less looks focused. I would agree with that. But you're saying that a cold approach is essentially like the same thing as them swiping on you on a dating app. They're making a decision, a quick decision based on your looks. Is that what you think?
Yeah. On a dating app.
Well, yeah, on a dating app.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the same. You're saying it's the same thing in cold approach too.
Yeah, and actually, cold approach is a lot worse than I would say if I had to rank them. Each issue is like each method is not going to be ideal. We don't live in an ideal reality, right? We live in a bad reality for most average men trying to date, right? But if I had to rank the methods, it would still be warm dating apps and then cold at the very bottom. And so the reason for that is that at the very least, I think here's the main reason, okay? At the very least, a girl who's on the dating app, she's probably single and ready to, you know, meet some guys, right? She's actually trying to meet guys for whatever purpose she wants to meet them for, right? Most girls you're going to see, they're probably in a relationship. Like when you go up to a random girl, like the number one, you actually do cold approaches. I'm just going to guess that like the number one response you get is, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Is that true?
No, most of them don't say that. Most of them just will give some canned rejection like that, though.
Yeah, like a kind of, because like there's no guarantee when you're just seeing a girl in public. There's no guarantee this woman even wants a relationship. She's probably in one or she doesn't want one, right? So,
well, most of them are not in relationship. I think that I don't think that's. I think that some of them won't, but I think most of them are neither in a relationship nor not wanting to date. I think most of the time when you get rejected, she's just not interested. I feel like,
yeah,
but
same reason on
like,
dating app. But like I'm saying, okay, if a girl's not into you, she's gonna reject you on the dating app and in real life, right? So there's no difference there. But the difference is like I'm thinking, and the reason why it's actually not worth it, and I would advise against it for like most guys, is that like you're just wasting your time, because most, even if girls do find you attractive, and I told you about this yesterday, like one of my friends, Chad, right? I asked him about his experience. So I'm doing cold approach. This guy does have like he can get a hookup like whenever he wants, basically on the apps, right? And I asked him, like, have you ever done cold approach? Like, yeah, I used to do it back in university. Like, did it ever work out for you? And he's like, no, it never worked out for me. So even like even for Chad, right? It's like a cold approach isn't a good idea. Why would it be a good idea for you as a normie, right? Even like a guy who's got the face card and everything.
okay,
Right?
okay, I'll explain. I'll explain. The thing about cold approach is, so most women are actually more biased to find a guy memorable if they interact with him in real life. On like the dating app, you're just one of like dozens, hundreds of guys that she could talk to very easily. In real life, you're one of the only guys that's actually approaching women, because men don't approach women very much anymore, because you know women just don't really take it the right way anymore. And the thing is,
That's another thing.
what I'm guessing is that most guys that try cold approach don't even know what cold approach is, right? They don't even know the term cold approach. Like probably your Chad friend didn't even know what cold approach was, and he probably did like 3 or 4 approaches. Like he probably didn't actually put in the volume
He said
and
he
decide
did the
this is a
same.
regimented thing I'm going to do.
He said he did the same amount that you did, probably. You said you've done 20. He said back when he was in his graduate program at university, he said like every time he saw like because at that time he had just gone out of a relationship. He told me so. Like at that time, like every time he saw a pretty girl, he would just try it out.
Yeah, I still don't think that's quite enough. I mean, he probably did it over a longer period of time than I've been doing it, because like cold approach, like there, as a specific practice is like is actually more of a specific thing than people realize. Like there are more guidelines that are kind of attached to it. Like it's cold approach in like the pickup sense is going to be when you're doing this on a regular basis. You're approaching women outside, and you're gonna track your results, and you're gonna do this. You're not gonna stop after you do it like 20 times. You're gonna stop like once you get sick of it. Like once you're like actually like you're gonna stop after probably like hundreds of approaches or something like that. Like you're gonna do at least hundreds of approaches before you like stop and take a break. That's what cold approach is like from like the pickup community's perspective, and that's like that's actually what it takes to get results from cold approach.
Yeah,
right? To
yeah,
get
I
actual
agree.
results, you have to get.
That's like a lot of time. Like I'm thinking of like a cost benefit like analysis here. Like we all have a finite amount of time on this earth, right? Like if you have to do hundreds, like an approach like actually takes time. Versus, I would feel so you're having to do lots of approaches. Let's just make a fake number. Half of them aren't going to even be like interested just because they're not interested in a boyfriend. Like they've already got one, or they're just not interested,
Yeah.
right? And then there's X amount based on your looks are just going to reject you for your looks, right? Like X amount, depending on where you are on the look spectrum, right? There's going to be a certain amount on top of that that's going to approach you. At the very least, with the dating apps, it's very time efficient. Swipe, swipe, swipe. You just put the profile there, let it cook, right? And you at least know that the women who are going to be looking at your profile are going to be actively looking for a boyfriend. So you don't have to waste your time doing that. Like if I were to do like I got one more point to make too. Also, actually 2 more points to make. Also, I want to give a shout out to Funtime Freddy, because he just posted the point that I was going to make already ahead of time. He says, this is revisionist history. It's not that men don't approach quote unquote anymore. It was never the norm in any period of human history until the modern age. That's absolutely right. I feel like
the modern age, but like in the 2000s, let's say, it was more common than it is now.
Yeah, that's when Red Pill had its peak. Like the PUA movement had its peak, a rapid peak and then a fall in the early 2000s, after Tinder came along, which is exactly why the fall happened, by the way. What was I going to say? So yeah, I feel like a lot of people like who live in the West, they live in like a kind of year zero mentality where they have no idea what life was like for an earlier generation. And that's how you get a lot of the RP scammers. I'm not saying all RP people are scammers, but the RP scammers, they try to tell people like, oh, you think your grandfather, like he was swiping on Tinder? No, he went out on streets and asked girls for their number. Like, no, that didn't happen either. Most people just met through like a warm environment.
But maybe your parents met that way. Like if you're Gen Z, maybe in like the 80s, 90s, that actually is what happened.
I would say 80s, 90s is probably like warm. Like I feel like cold approach is like didn't really exist until it wasn't a very common thing at all. I feel like it's like a warm approach. People met in high school, people met in college, people met at their workplaces, people met through friends, people met through activities that they did. So I feel like it's pretty uncommon. And the other final point I want to make about, and of course I'll give you a chance to respond after this, but I do want to make one more point, which is that the other thing is, it's for the average man, it's going to be less emotionally taxing, right? Because if a woman rejects, let's say a woman swipes with her friends, they all do, by the way, like they consider this a social activity, swiping on a dating app. I've seen it. And she said, ew, gross, not this guy, swipes left, right? You don't have to hear that. So you're not going to be affected by a woman rejecting you, really. Now, if you actually get 0 matches, I'm sure that will affect you, but there's nothing you can do at that point. You're just ugly. But you don't have to actually face like a visceral reaction. Whereas if you are an average man, or even slightly above the average for that matter, you are going to get absolute blowouts. And I mean, you faced blowouts, and I don't, like I told you before, I don't know what you look like, but I don't think a blowout is a reflection of your looks. I think it's just a reflection of the girl, right? Like every guy is going to get like a blowout. And the problem is when you get closer, like let's say you move away from being a 6 or a 7, you go to being like a 5 or something like that, you're going to get more and more blowouts and stuff like that. And the cumulative toll of those things, it's going to have an effect on your psyche, I feel. So I think a dating app is better at avoiding that. Okay, go ahead.
Were those your points?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just address what you just said real quick. You know, I think that you need to, so as a guy, you're going to face a lot of rejection in dating, and there's no really real way to circumvent that. Even if you're meeting girls off of dating apps, you're going to have to deal with ghosting, or like, I didn't really feel the chemistry, going in for the kiss and her not liking it, trying to hook up with her and her rejecting you. You're going to have to deal with all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Every single guy has to deal with rejection. But the thing is, cold approach, you're going to deal with rejection more often. You're going to deal with rejection frequently, and you're going to become more desensitized to it. So that's my first response. I think that's true. I think that's a good rebuttal to what you said. You can respond in a bit. And I guess the advantage of cold approach, so you have to do more volume than people think you have to do with cold approach for it to even like.
I don't think you've done enough volume, to be honest. Like,
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
That's so, but I have done more than the vast majority of guys.
Sure.
So I've learned a lot about how cold approach works from this experience. See, I've done 25 approaches. That's not a huge amount. My goal is 100 by the end of the year. But the thing is, my rate, like not just my rate, but my rate of success and the general rate of success of getting a contact, getting like a number from cold approach is way higher than on the apps. You know, like I've done 25 approaches and I've done 5 numbers.
That's all I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is going on a date and not hooking up with a woman, like, and getting ghosted afterwards, is that a success?
It's more of a success than a number, because a girl will give her number out to everyone.
I agree it's more of a success, but isn't a number more of a success than just not even getting numbers at all?
No. If you get a number from a girl, you text her and she never responds, like
I would agree with Instagram. Instagram is like friend zone territory, but if she gives you her number, like most of the time she's actually a little bit interested, I think.
No, because here's the thing. If I was a girl, not that I'd ever go in that direction, but if I was a girl and like guys were like hitting on me and asking, like, it would be like, I would personally prefer, I would just give them their number, because that will make them go away, right? Like if I'm not interested, that's the quickest way to end the
But most of them don't do that. Most of the girls that aren't interested in me don't even give me their number. Most of them just ignore me, the thing.
I'm saying some of them are going to ignore you. Some of them are going to say, I have a boyfriend, regardless of whether that's true or not. And some of them are going to get, I'm talking about specifically of girls who are not attracted to you, right? And some of them are just going to give you the
actually,
number.
I misspoke. They don't ignore me. They just reject me like quickly, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like I'm saying, I think that's something about like a woman's like inhib level, right? Like maybe she doesn't feel confident enough to even say like, oh, no, thank you, right? So she doesn't want to like get herself into like an uncomfortable situation, because what if you say, hey, why not? Like, right? That might be an unpleasant situation for her. So it's much easier for a woman just to give out the number, and then, because like, I don't like, yes, an Instagram means nothing, right? A number doesn't mean that much more than Instagram. She can literally just block you as soon as she gets like.
I mean, you do agree that like it means a bit more than Instagram. Like Instagram is like 100% like friend zone, like simp territory.
No, because like you can still, I mean, guys hit up girls in the Instagram.
Like if you ask for her number and then she gives you her Instagram.
Yeah, that's a rejection. Sign. That's a rejection 100%. But I'm saying if she gives you her number, that's not a rejection, you know?
Okay, but the thing is, but I'm just gonna finish what I was saying. So I got 5 numbers from 25 approaches. That's about 20% number rate.
Okay.
That's like pretty normal. Like if you're a regular guy, you'll probably get somewhere in the realm of like 5% to 30% of the time you'll get a number or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But that's way higher than on dating apps. Because if you think about it, on dating
No,
apps,
the success.
I'm basically like approaching like 8 times a day on Hinge. Like you get 8 free likes on Hinge.
Yeah.
I'm approaching 8 times a day, and maybe I get like 2 or 3 matches a week on like a very fast week. Like that's probably my best week is I get like that many matches on Hinge. Like that's a good week for me. So I'm shooting a ton of volume, and on Tinder it's even worse. Your average guy will swipe but like 50 times on Tinder.
Mhm.
They won't even get one match. Your average guy swipes 1,000 times on Tinder for 6 matches. That's a real statistic. 1,000 times for 6 matches. Could you imagine doing 1,000 cold approaches and getting 6 numbers? Like I think a number is pretty equivalent to a match. A match isn't a surefire sign that a girl's interested. I don't think it is.
If you
The
get a
same with
number,
the number. I'll concede
if
that.
you get a number from a girl and she never responds, if the conversation fizzles out, yes, then I would say it's the same as a match, right? If you start a conversation with a girl with her number and then it just doesn't lead to a date, not all matches on dating apps lead to a date. I would say that's an equivalency. If you get a number from a girl and then she never responds, that is not the same as a match. That is not nearly as good as a match, right? I would say in that case, that means there is no other explanation other than the woman is not attracted to you. There is no other explanation. She's not attracted to you, and she gave you the number to end the interaction quickly and so that you would go away calmly. That's it. That's all there is to it. So if we want to make an equivalent metric, I would say the equivalent metric is convos. Okay. So there you go.
The equivalent metric is what?
A conversation over the phone number. Like she gives you your number and she responds back to your number. Then that's the same as a match on a dating app.
So you're saying a number is actually worth less than a match?
Yes, absolutely. If she doesn't respond to you, right?
What if she does respond to you? Because like
that's what I just said. Then that's an
out of
equivalent.
my 4 numbers.
Yeah.
So guess how many of the girl I got 5 numbers. Guess how many of them responded to me?
2.
That I texted.
2.
3
Okay.
of them. One of them I didn't even text because I realized that I wasn't even attracted to her. But like I get a pretty that's a pretty it's like a 50% response rate from the numbers actually. Like for most people, like that's pretty good. I feel like that's not even as bad as you make it sound.
That's still it's 50. Okay, it's like slightly under 50% of 20% to begin with. So. Like, I think you're just exaggerating how much more successful. And then again, like the conversation fizzles out. So it's not as good. Like you just have so much more volume on an app that like you're just going to get more.
Not if you actually approach. The thing is, okay, here's the thing. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not arguing for cold approach instead of apps. I'm arguing for cold approach and apps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's a little bit more nuanced. And I would say my response to why I just still I can't recommend cold approach to the average.
But like the thing is, if you're a guy and you want to have dating success, I think you need to just do as many avenues as you can. Cold approach, let's say like you go out like 2 or 3 hours a week and do cold approach. That's not as massive as a time commitment. You know, that's not a huge time commitment. And like, it might even be good for you. You could just be walking outside, listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal, I feel like. And that'll like your chances of getting like a date from that and from the apps, like it's not like, I think it might even be as likely if you're doing cold approach on a regular basis. It might even be more likely that you're going to be more likely to get a date from it if you're doing it like 2 or 3 hours a week. But I think, I don't know. I think, you know, average guys need to leverage as many things as they can. And, you know, would you agree that cold approach is better than warm approach or not really?
Oh, no, absolutely. Warm approach would be better, but you have to be smart about it. I gotta be honest with you. I've been needing to take a piss for like an hour. So can we do like a 2-minute intermission right now? Because my bladder.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, I can mute myself and get some water.
Okay. Actually, you can also promote yourself to the community as well. Or if anyone want to have like a discussion, you can like say anything you want. We got 13 people watching. So
Yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, I guess if you like what I'm saying, or if you just find me interesting, go to my channel, JackthePUA, and subscribe to me. Warm approach is the best thing for a normie. I don't think it's the best thing for a normie. It's what most normies do, and that's just because most normies are like kind of beta and simpy. Okay, I think I'll go get some water or something.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Everyone hear me? Jack, can you hear me? People in the chat, can you hear me? Jack? We lost Jack, guys. I'm sorry. I actually had to go there.
All right, I'm back.
All right, chill. So we were talking about cold approach. So my only response to that is like why I would think I would say like I don't even recommend it. It's mostly the just the constant rejection element. It can get tiring. And my like real world evidence for this would probably be Wheat Waffles. If you actually saw the Wheat Waffles video where he talked about doing 1,000, he did 1,000 cold approaches in England.
Oh, really? I thought he did 500. He did 1,000?
I think so. I'm not sure. Jack is water maxing. No, I was water maxing, Avi. Holy shit, I was drinking so much water during this debate. I had to go. Anyways, what was I going to say? Yeah, and he was, you could just feel in his voice the bitterness because of how many just blowout, angry, unpleasant rejections that he got. And like, he got some success with 1,000. You are going to get success if you are at Wheat Waffles looks level. But he would have been much better off just being on Hinge. Like, I don't understand, like, the, you know, in terms of the actual cost benefit, like the cost benefit is totally screwed for cold approach. And that's all I have to say about cold approach. I do want to, like, before we move on to our final topic in the, of the debate, I do want to ask you just a little bit about warm approach because we have a little bit of time. So for warm approach,
yeah, that's what I brought up, I think.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on warm approach is like, you know, someone in the chat already pointed out like abundance mindset. That's cringe or whatever. I think that most people that, you know, most guys that warm approach that are saying, "Oh, I'm just going to meet women through friends." The problem is they don't have an abundance mindset. You know, they get a one-itis on one girl, and they like end up in the friend zone for like months or even years. You know, just wasting time. Like the thing is, I just have a problem with people that say just meet women organically. It's like if you're not meeting women organically already, that's probably not going to happen, you know, and you're just not going to. I just don't want to rely on 100% chance if I'm meeting a woman. I don't want to, you know, on whether or not I'm going to find a woman to date. Like I want to be proactive and I want to do the things that actually get me results. So like if you're like, oh, I'm just going to meet a woman organically, you know, through a warm environment, that's just a bad idea. Like you should just go on apps instead or cold approach because then you'll actually have it'll be in your own hands. You decide, you know, how much volume you're going to be doing. You decide which girls you want to talk to, you know, and it's just I think you know I went on 8 first dates in the past year, and I don't know if I want to reveal this information, but like I guess I probably should. I'm still a virgin, but like I don't think I would have been able to go on 8 first dates if I was just doing some warm approach stuff because like to be honest, like most guys don't have female friends. You know, I don't have female friends, you know, and it's like how am I going to meet women organically if I don't even have female friends? If I decided that I was going to meet women to date them, then it would no longer be organically meeting women. It would be me being a creep or whatever. And it's just, it has the problem of PW, poisoning of the well. It doesn't really happen nearly as much with cold approach as it does with warm approach. With warm approach, if you approach like 2 or 3 women within the same social circle, you're screwed. Like
Yeah.
you're basically screwed.
Yeah, we're in total agreement on the warm approach then. The only thing is like warm approach can't be relied on to get a girlfriend. Like I'm just saying if the opportunity presents itself, like and when I say warm, I'm a little bit more like nuanced. Like I don't just mean like an actual person you know. I mean a person you meet through friends. Like not necessarily a female friend, but a female that you meet through like other friends, right?
That's
So-
even worse, honestly.
Really. But like, I'm like at a party, for example, like if you're talking to a girl and you're like talking to, that's not a cold, right? You both know people who know people, right? So, and you probably come from the same like social circle, like you go to the same university and like, you know what I mean? Like you were both invited to the party. So that's what I mean by that. Now, like, yeah, absolutely. Like these, like you can't rely on that because it's just like, like it might happen to you. It might not happen to you. So I support just exposure maxing, just being like and this is what you were talking about earlier with the status part, like just exposure maxing, like trying to have a wider social circle and stuff like that. And if an opportunity presents itself to you, then I think that might be good. But absolutely number one are the apps just for the convenience. I mean, there's a reason they exist. It's because of the convenience. The other problem with warm approach is, like you said, poisoning the well. And that's why I would actually like, when I say warm approach is a good thing, I think it's only the second part where it's like a light warm approach where it's just people who know each other. It's not like you know the girl directly. Like I can give you an example.
Yeah, that's what I said was the bad thing. Knowing the girl directly,
Yeah.
like that's just a disaster. I feel like it's just I've never done that before. I've actually never been in the friend zone before. Have you?
Yeah, one time, but I was like, I even knew I was in. It was a retard. This is before I was BP'd, so would never happen again.
See, yeah, now you know that you have to hold frame. You know, you have to hold frame. You
No,
can't
she
do
would have never been. She would have never been into me. Like even the pheno was a mismatch. Like even if I
You know,
looked
but
at her,
you know, holding frame, it's not even to attract women. It's for yourself. It's for your own peace of mind. You know.
for real, yeah. I agree with that. Then the other thing. So like I'll give you like an example from my personal life. Like I recently worked at a place, and I ended up forming like a pretty good, like I guess you could say like circle, like temporary social circle there, like people who we would do things like after work together, like other people who were employees there and stuff like that. And like one of those people was a girl, and there was no situation in which I would ever hit on her. Like she was way like better looking than I was. It was like no pheno match. Like it would never have worked out, obviously. But like if I had tried, I would have just completely like destroyed like that circle that I built up, right? And then I wouldn't have been invited to the events, like the hangouts after work and stuff like that. I wouldn't have gone to like stuff with the whole group. So I would have actually destroyed some potential like close male friendships and potential future opportunities in my life. It would have been an absolute stupid decision to do an approach there.
I just want to give a PSA here. If you're the type of guy who judges a girl, like a guy for approaching a girl, and doesn't want to be friends with him because you don't want to be friends with like a creepy guy, like you're just kind of pathetic, you know? Like you're kind of like you're a male feminist, you know? Like you're a simp, you know? Because like why does that upset you that this guy, like, because he hits on women in like a pretty normal way? Like why is that an issue?
Yeah, I mean, if you're even around people who are like that, that's like a problem with you. Like you should have like cooler. You should be like friends with actual guys with XY chromosomes. So like
Yeah,
you have a problem. Like if you're even around
I
those
agree.
like, totally lefty people. Okay, I think we can move on to our final topic. All right, just
Wait, actually, can I say one more thing?
go ahead.
I think this is actually my best point so far.
Sure.
I think the thing is, but the thing is, like, you know, maybe you would say that dating apps are better than cold approach overall. Maybe they are. I don't know. But the thing is, can your average normie afford just to use apps? Like they can't, because like the apps are not going to work for them. Your average normie just needs to, or even like if you're a sub 5, especially, you use as many avenues as you can. If just the apps aren't working for you, you need to try other things and find what works for you, and get more volume. Using cold approach plus apps, that's gonna let's say like cold approach is about as likely at getting you about as likely to get you dates with women, then you're basically timesing your odds. Like you're doubling your odds. And like if you have to invest like a few hours a week, who cares? It's worth it, because like most guys really do want to date women, especially if you're like a young virgin, you know? It's worth the time investment, I feel like. Because like what other things do guys do realistically to attract women? Like if you're working out in the gym an hour a day, that's probably to attract women, right? But that's a bit different. But like, do you maybe agree that like people should use as many avenues as they can and just try different things to attract women? Do you agree with that?
I'm going to concede one small point to you. I will say that, okay, let's say you're like, we have a big like public square at the university that I go to. And okay, let's say I'm there, and I see a girl. I like F it. Like, why not? Like, yeah, and you like her, vibes, and you think like, and again, you're BP, so you have all the like, you think your looks matched, pheno matched, like everything, like you're taller than she is and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I would in that particular situation, absolutely, just go for it. Like, you're not going to lose anything by it. I would just say like devoting a part of your actual energy to like actively going out and like getting volume cold. That's what I just personally feel like that's not an efficient use of time. So I think we can
Yeah.
let's go on to yeah, go ahead.
Wait, I think I froze out for a second.
Yeah,
I was
you
just
did.
gonna say real quick. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say, do you think the guys should at least dip their toes in cold approach? Do you think that's okay? Like, just see what it feels like?
Like I said, like if you're in that situation, you've got like nothing to lose. It's no one you know personally. You're never gonna see them again. And like, hey, why not start a conversation with someone? Yeah, like if you're in that position, go ahead, go for it. I just don't think it's something like you should actually, like a strategy you should be actively pursuing and putting effort and time in. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Let's go to the last point now. So this is going to be a great final point. Is a BP or RP perspective, like this could double as closing arguments, really. Is a BP or RP perspective better to adopt for the average man? Jack, go first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely think that an RP perspective is better to adopt for the average man, because I think that the RP, it's a more positive mindset. That's the most important thing. I think that's the most fundamentally important thing about it, is because if you're black pill, I'm not saying this is always true, but that worldview tends more towards defeatism and not trying. And I think that's a problem. But, I would say, I would also say that the red pill is more true than the black pill. Like, I think the truth value of it is better, even though there are a lot of people that make the argument that you should believe in positive things even if they aren't true. I think that the red pill is actually more true than the black pill. Like, I think there's more truth to the red pill than there is to the BP,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because the and like, so I'll name some things. Like, it goes more, it aligns more with the Evo Psych research that people have done, that things like status play a massive role. It's like like status is honestly primal attraction in many forms. Like, because when we were evolving as a species, the highest status men, we're the ones that had the resources, had the social approval, and it would be beneficial for women to mate with those guys, right? And it's like the there are also some other reasons, right? Like the emphasis on game, because game also really matters too. Like the way you act with a woman, if you truly believe that what you say doesn't matter, then that's going to lead you to say a lot of things that are actually pretty stupid. and will actually hurt you, but you'll just blame it on your looks if you subscribe to a BP worldview. And you honestly, this is my last point.
Mhm.
You can see, you can just see in the results that people have that the red pill is better. You can see plenty of guys that are red pill that are like average looking who are doing quite well with women, and many men that are black pill and even average to a bit above average looking who have looks maxed who still don't get women because they have a completely different mentality. You know, guys who are at the same looks level who are red pilled do way better than guys who are at the same looks level who are black pilled on average. But that's my that's basically summarizes most of my points here.
Yeah. So the just for the last thing you just said there, I think that's again like it's a selected sample. Like there is a reason people go into the BP versus the RP, right? Maybe like a guy is going into the RP like he's already been like successful and he just wants to increase his success by like doing all the things that you've been talking about
Okay,
through the debate. Where a
the
BP
thing is,
guy who's tried before, like he actually comes into the BP community because most BPers, they're RP rejects, basically. They're guys who actually did the work for the RP and then they didn't. And some people just go straight to defeatism because that's their psyche, that's their
not
mentality.
anymore. I feel like.
Right. I mean, some guys go straight to defeatism, but a lot of them, you have to admit, a lot of them are actually trying. Avi says precedent studies, bro. I don't have the studies memorized, man. Like I was reading about studies like several years ago when I first learned about the BP. I don't have them off the top of my head, but yeah, go ahead, Jack.
I was just gonna say, you know, it's like I don't think that most the pipeline is red pill to black pill these days. I think the pipeline is more to blue pill to black pill because it looks maxing.
Sure.
It's what's propagating online more nowadays among like the, you know, among the youth, you know, and I think you know the point about, you know, it's just being selection, like the demographic that goes to like a selection bias or whatever, the demographic that goes to the red pill and goes to the black pill, it's pretty similar demographics. I feel like most guys that are actually chads that are successful at dating, I think we even mentioned this yesterday, we talked a bit about this, chads are not going to be red pilled or black pilled. They're not even going to engage with that.
Yeah, they don't know
they
what
have no
pills is.
reason.
They don't know what pills is, except for the pills they take at parties with MDMA in them. But
yeah yeah. I mean, is your argument that red pillars are on average just better looking or more NT than black pillars on average?
yeah, I would say so. But like that's not like I would just responding to the point. I haven't even made my actual closing argument yet. I was just responding to your point that look at the results. Like guys who have the same like level who are RP versus BP. It's like I would say that's not like a scientific experiment. You can't really draw conclusions based off of it. So like my actual point is, yes, I do believe that the BP is a better to adopt for the average man, as long as you take it in a smart way, right? So the doomerism, the defeatism, no, I don't believe that's good. Like even if it's actually like if you are actually like bottom of the barrel rankings in every category that matters, which most people are not. Most people are, including in the BP inkwell space, right? They are not bottom of the barrel rankings. The same way most people aren't genetic chads in every respect. But even if you are, I would say that there's like a better way to take the BP. So why I think it's better for the average man is, again, the realism part right here, because it gives you like perspectives about like what is possible for you if you take the BP in a smart way, right? You like what I'm worried about is guys who take the RP, but again, they're all doing it for the wrong reasons. They think, okay, all I got to do is hit the gym, work on my biceps, my triceps, work on my abs, and then just hold frame constantly at all times. And then all of these other buzzwords, some of which you've mentioned in this debate before, and do this and do that. And then it's like a mathematical equation. And then at the end equals woman, right? Equals girlfriend. And that's just not possible because you can do everything and then it still doesn't work out for you. And what I'm afraid about is like people who take the RP for that perspective, and they're on their self-improvement arc, and then it just crashes and burns, and they might actually end up like unaliving themselves, for example. So I want people to go into it with realism. I want you to literally look at your face in the mirror. How attractive am I to the average woman? Okay, I'm not that attractive. What are like the specific flaws I have? How can I fix the flaws? Okay, it would be too difficult to fix. I got like prey eyes. I don't want to do the orbital surgery because that's too scary. Okay, I'm screwed. Or maybe I have a flaw. Oh, my hairline's starting to recede. I'm going to take some topical Fin or whatever like that. So understand that looks are the primary mover in what's going to get you accepted or rejected, and then be smart about what you can do to solve that problem and see success. And if that's not an option for you, we disagree about the relative proportion of men for which a success in dating is not possible. We have a disagreement there, but we agree it's not zero, right? There are some men who are just genetically screwed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the number I put was 5%. You would probably say more. Right?
I'd say. Good night, Abby. Thank you for everything, by the way. You've been really active. Appreciate that, bro. Have a good one. Anyways, what was I going to say? But we agree that it's not zero. So like those men, like the RP is not a good thing for them. I'd say if you take the BP as a smart way, it's almost like very universally applicable to the sub-5s, the normies, and the chads, right? Because you each know where you stand and what you can do. And so for those men, if you take the BP the smart way, they'll say, okay, bro, like I'm screwed. Like I'm just like the ugliest guy in the room, or maybe I'm just ugly enough that like it's not even worth my time to try to date at this point, right? But I'm not screwed in every aspect of my life. I'm not screwed in my intellect. I'm a very high IQ individual, right? So I can use that to money max and perhaps then have a higher quality of life and stuff like that. So when you take the BP in that respect, you understand the overwhelming power of genetics, but you still like know what to optimize and what to do. And I think that's universally applicable, unlike the RP.
Okay, but I mean, I one point you made that stuck out to me was you said that you were afraid that there were a lot of people that would take that sort of red pill self improvement game sort of approach, and then they would fail at it, and then that would kind of drive them, like put them on like a downward mental spiral that might even lead to suicide.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely leads to the BP in some cases, right?
Yeah, but like I think that the red pill more often does the opposite. When guys like actually self improve, like it's not even just because they get better results. They work towards a goal. They reject nihilism, and they
I'm talking about
find the
working towards a
confidence to
goal.
try.
I'm talking about the same thing, like how to work towards a goal. It's just that I believe.
Yeah, but like here's the thing. Here's the thing. Most like let's think about this. Like there's like who Rollo Tomasi is?
Yes.
So Rollo Tomasi, like he's made videos talking about like he gets plenty of messages from guys, and like he meets guys in real life that tell him that he actually saved his life. Like he actually saved their life because from reading his books, or like they improved their lives, and they realized the truth of things, and it actually saved their lives. Like they say things like that. Do you think anyone's saying that to like clavicular or like wheat waffles?
Yeah, people do say it to wheat waffles because he's read out like the comments.
Wheat waffles, not to clavicular, I'm sure, but
I mean, clavicular isn't trying to help people. He's just trying to be a celebrity. Like I would say, like what is like and like because like okay, even like the advice he offers, it's not real advice. It's just whatever is going to like get in like the most clicks in the moment. Like smash your face with a hammer, dangle like shopping bags off your dick or whatever like that. It's like that's not like actual advice that's going to help anybody in the world. It's just meant to go viral. So he's not actually trying to help people. But the BPers out there who are actually making content and like trying to reach people, I believe they are helping some individuals. I mean, I wouldn't have this channel if I didn't believe that.
okay. But I think I just think there are far more examples of guys who took the black pill and things went south for them than examples of guys who took the red pill. I mean, look at incels.I is. Like that site
don't use
like
that word.
on its own.
Jack, just don't try not to use that word. Try to censor yourself.
Yeah, the dot is like web like forum. that forum itself is a cautionary tale. It's full of people that kind of, fell into a spiral of negativity. I think once you go there, honestly, like once you make an account on .is, like most of those people are probably never gonna, improve their lives significantly. Once you get that far, I mean, I don't know if you've used, .is before. I think you
I
have.
have, yeah.
I think you've talked about it on the stream. I don't remember quite if you, yeah, you have.
Yeah.
But like most of those people are in a terrible position and they just have a terrible mentality.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean,
not just because of what they've gone through, because there are plenty of people who have gone through terrible things who ended up, in the red pill community and made, their life better.
yeah. Well, I mean, again, I would say I didn't say the BP. The question was not is the BP community or RP community better for the average man to belong to. In that case, like I would honestly agree with you. Like I don't think either one is ideal, but I would say that the RP community is healthier because the BP community is just a dumpster fire, right? And that's why I'm actually preaching against doomerism and stuff like that. That's why I explicitly said in my statement that I support the BP when it's taken correctly, not like just people like doomering like no matter what without any regard for people's like personal situation. Like it's over, it's over, it's over. It's all you hear. It's over, right? But if we're just talking about the actual like base fundamental ideologies, then yeah, the BP is I think superior for the than the RP in what's better for the average man to adopt.
I mean, the thing is, you see so many examples of guys who just looks maxed, but they're still like not doing well with women. Like even Wheat Waffles made a video about this. He talked about that there are these try hard looks maxers who stand in the corner at the club because they expect women to come to them because
Well, they're just not attractive.
ascended from
like
a 4 to a
looks maxing is not.
6.5.
It's like an automatic. There is no button that you push it and it turns you into Chad, right? You are very limited by what you were born with, right? And it's just like I would say. I mean, this is like a future.
But how is looks maxing how is the black pill gonna fix your life? How's it gonna improve your life if looks maxing is the primary thing that black pillars will prescribe as the solution? When you're saying that even that won't even work a lot of the time.
Yeah, a lot of the time it won't work. A lot of the time, like in terms of dating, and here's the fundamental difference between you and I, Jack, is that like I don't believe like we're all gonna make it, and I don't believe it's healthy to tell people that like to make. I said this to you last night when we were talking, right? I don't think it's healthy that the RP makes women the measuring stick of like what makes a man, right? And yeah, I agree that like most guys are gonna want to smash at some point. Young men, we all want to smash, right? It's just biological, right? But guess what? Guess what? Not all guys are gonna get the smash, Jack. Like some guys are just not gonna make it, and the RP is selling them false hope, and that might make them feel better in the moment, but it will come crashing down for those men that have no hope. Whereas the BP, if you take it correctly, and then I will at least tell you, okay, like the way I promote the BP, right? Okay, you are already successful. Great. Okay, you're good. You need a looks max, exposure max, put yourself out there, understand the game and how it's played and stuff like that. And then maybe you can like if you put enough work into it, you can have some success. That's another part of the population. And then it also tells, okay, I'm sorry, bro, you're ugly. You got born with you got a bad hand at birth, okay? But let's take a look at what else is going on in your life. Okay. Oh, how is your IQ? Are you physically strong? What can you do? How can you make the world a better place? How can you make your personal life better? Right. So it offers something for everyone right there. And so I think it's very unhealthy, yeah, to make women the measuring stick of anything when not all men are capable of getting a woman in the year 2026 or indeed any other year of human society.
Yeah, but you can see statistically that that like guys that are married, or in relationships are significantly happier.
Yeah.
And that's because like let's not cope about it. Being in a relationship will make you significantly happier. Like I don't think you're denying that. What you're saying is that
a good relationship.
Well, even honestly, even like a bad relationship
No,
is kind of better than never having been in one. Honestly,
I mean, it depends on how bad the relationship is, right? If you
yeah. I mean, not one where it's absolutely terrible, but like if if you have a girlfriend that's like a little bit crazy, I honestly don't feel like those guys aren't suffering as much as guys that are just incels. Because honestly, they could just cut them off, the woman off, and like if they don't have any kids or if they're not married, then like who even cares? But like that they're not suffering as much as the guys that are just completely alone. I think that's the worst place you can be. And you're saying that you're saying that the red pill kind of gives guys false hope.
some
Sure, if you're like 4'11" and you're like completely chopped in the face and you're also autistic and Indian, or well, that's the extreme example. But if you have like
the
a
sub what is
significant
it, what is
number
it
of those
the
things,
sub 5 the 5'2" Indian janitor? You know that meme?
yeah, I've heard of that
Yeah, yeah,
before. Yeah, I was basically saying that like 5'2" Indian janitor.
yeah.
Yeah, if you're a 5'2" Indian janitor, then yeah, maybe red pill is selling you a bit of false hope. I mean, I still think it's possible, like technically possible for you to have the results, but most guys aren't that. I'd say like for 95% plus of guys, it's going to be possible, and that's not really selling you false hope. I mean, it's not impossible for like a guy who's a 4 to get into a relationship. It's not impossible, or even just hook up. Like it's not impossible for that to happen, and it's not really selling false hope. It really it just makes many men's lives better once they know what they can do to improve and they can actually execute it. And like I think we're not disagreeing as much about if helping guys get girlfriends would be a good thing. I think we both agree that's a good goal.
Yeah.
And if more men could form relationships and be happier, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
We're just disagreeing about how practical it is and how many guys can do it. But I'd say more guys can do it than you think is possible. Like I
Sure.
think that if you're
But
at
the
least a
BP will help
4, then
them.
you can.
The BP will help them too, because like again, we both agree looks are at least we agree about the amount at which they matter. We both agree that looks are extremely, extremely important, right? So in the BP,
Yeah, I mean we don't agree on the exact amount, but
yeah. But I'm saying like the BP will tell you like will put looks in the forefront, right? So the guy knows I got to work on my physical appearance. I got to physique max, and I will give the RP a little bit of credit because the BP, I feel like the BP really under talks physique maxing, and the RP promotes it. So I do give the RP a little bit of credit in that regard. Is that because that is something that is actually going to have an impact on your like a serious impact on your SMB. But like again, if you take the BP the right way, it includes all these things. It has something for everyone. It has something for the Chads. It has something for the Normies. It has something for the sub 5s.
But which pill is more likely to tell you that you should volume max, like exposure max?
I mean, the BP agrees with that though. The BP
I'd say most don't. I'd say it's mixed, but like I think we name one like black pillar besides wheat waffles that actually says you should approach.
I mean, that's a hard question for me because I don't watch black pill channels. So, like I don't spend my days.
Yeah, because like
rehab
basically
room.
all red pill, like most red pill people will acknowledge that like exposure is good, especially in like the PUA like side of things.
Yeah, I mean, but there are similarities here. Like I think like B peers and R peers, like we both agree on a lot of things. So like poisoning the well is something that we agree it's like a real thing that can happen. Like we agree on a lot of things. I don't know. I think I've said all I have to say about like this topic though. Like,
yeah, was this the last one or do we have another one?
No, this is it. That was it. That was our closing argument.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's going to be the end of the debate then. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah. So I don't know. Okay. Apparently, Show You ended his stream. So I'm going to send this recording to Show You and he'll post it. Hopefully, he can post it as an actual video. But thank you, everybody who's logged on and watched us. I'm going to post a poll for who the final victor in the debate was. And Jack, you can do the same thing. And I think I'll ask Show You to do the same thing. And we'll see there. So anybody... So for if Show You ever posts this, anybody who's watching this on Show You's channel, please sub to me if you haven't already. I think I have some good takes. Anybody who's watching on my channel, please sub to Jack. I'm not sure why he isn't bigger than he is. I think he's a pretty smart guy. He deserves it. And anybody who's subbed to my channel also, please check out my Patreon. I've tried to push it before. It's a little slow to get up the ground, but I'm going to start posting some more polls and stuff like that. So please sub to my Patreon, and I'm going to start coming up with some other services too. So check that out too. All right, Jack, anything you want to say?
No, just thanks for watching, everyone. And this was a great stream, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that we had a little bumps in the beginning, but it turned out all right in the end. All right, see you everyone. Bye.